are we doing? Here we go. All right, we're live. We're live. I was just bugging StreamYard right now. Like, come on, StreamYard. What are we doing? Quit spinning. Let's go. So if the live glitches or anything like that, let me know. If the sound is good, let me know. Because sometimes when I see that little thing spinning too much, I'm like, StreamYard's got a problem. And I might have to go back out, refresh, and come back in. So welcome. What is this? August the 4th, 6:45 p.m. Now, I woke up today about 4 o'clock p.m., was out driving last night. I got a crazy ride to show y'all that I did on Lyft. Super, never happened to me before. Crazy ride. But I got a lot to go over today. So if you want to know, like the title says, traditional rideshare is dead. I have proof. I keep telling you, I'm coming to the table, letting you guys know, get your private clients together, get your permits together. If you want to do commercial insurance, get that together. If you want to have, whatever livery, get that together. You have to be ready. They are changing rideshare. Rideshare is embedded in politics. Tony West is now going and hanging out with Kamala Harris to run on her campaign. NGB, what's good, brother? So what up, Triple E? So anybody out there who, why is rideshare getting involved in politics? What's up, Lisa? What's good? I mean, you guys don't get it, man. Rideshare is deeply involved in politics. The entire industry is political. Lobbyists are being paid. Politicians are being paid. For any driver out there who thinks rideshare is all about surge, all about quests, you're short. You're short. You're not getting it right. What up, AJ? Oh, AJ, I got to ship something out to you, my man. So what up, AP, my man, Black Santa? Man, Silvino, what's good? Yeah, but y'all gonna love what I got. And I'm gonna start this live stream out. We starting it off with a bang. I'm gonna share a screen. I'm going in right now. What up, David? I'm gonna go in here and I gotta find this article because, like I said, with this article, we're gonna start off the live stream with this. And normally I don't start off reading, but this is very important information right here. And for the people that are here already, oh, y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Come on, quit jumping around, Yahoo. All right, let me open this up real quick. I'm gonna open this up. All right, got that panel open. Get rid of that one. And I told y'all, is it on a subscriber push? Go for it, Chris, man. Get it. Hey, Jeff, you doing a Chris Brown concert? I might get out there and do it tonight. I don't know, man. I might. But let me show you exactly. I'm gonna share a screen with you guys. And I'm going to show y'all something that, we only got 30 people in here, but you guys are here early. Let's get it out the way. I want to do this quick, man. I want to because this is important to me. For anybody who's saying politics shouldn't be involved, politics is not involved. Trust me. You see this right here? They're selling the narrative right now. Why California's surge in immigration is lifting our economy. They're selling a narrative right now. They're saying immigration is great. And what did I tell you? Did not tell you this was not about asylum seeking. Did not tell you this was about profits. Did not tell you this was about them getting slave labor in our country. This ain't about saving people from, they got bad stuff going on in their country. This was always about corporate. This was about politics. This was about corporate. I told y'all that from the get-go. So let's get into this article, and I'm going to tell y'all why they're trying to sell this narrative right now. I'm going to read first. I'm going to start at the very bottom. Because that's where something is good. So anybody that don't think rideshare is involved in politics, let me go see where it's at. Oh, where is it? Because it was good. And I'm going to go back to the top, but I need to read this first. Because when you read this, y'all going to be like, oh, shit. Yeah. Wait a minute. Where is it at? I know I should have highlighted it or something like that. But, it's in here, and when y'all see this, y'all gonna realize that what I was saying is right. Oh, I don't see it in here. Let's just start at the top. Fuck it. Y'all know how I do. We gonna start at the top. And it says, it just talks about Kamala Harris, and this is about rideshare. It talks about Kamala Harris, the Democratic presidential nominee, Donald Trump, whatever. But it says, the data on the U.S. employment and economy overwhelmingly suggest a reality far more beneficial when it comes to immigration than the nightmares vision the former president has put forth. So what they're trying to say is that Kamala and everybody that's, pushing for immigration, they don't realize immigration is a benefit on the U.S. economy right now. This is what I'm telling you. They selling this shit to people right now. The surge of immigrants since 2021, when Donald Trump wasn't in office. It says the surge in immigrants since 2021 including refugees, asylum seekers, and others entering legally and illegally, has lifted the U.S. and California economies by filling otherwise vacant jobs, helping keep job creation strong, growing businesses, and pumping millions of tax dollars into state, local, and federal coffers. The reason why they saying that they're pumping tax dollars is because they're giving these immigrants money. They're giving them free money, money that we earned already. They're giving all these people money. And once they give them all money, what are they doing? They're giving it all to states, and they're giving it all to programs. They're filling up all of these EBT programs, all of these housing programs. This is where all this money is going. And they're saying instead of giving Americans that money to boost our economy, instead of giving it to Americans, we're going to give it to immigrants. Give it to immigrants. And then a lot of immigrants don't understand the value of a dollar because they're not from here. So what do those immigrants do? They pay $2,000 a month in rent on places that normally go for like $900, $1,200. Because they don't understand. They like, ooh. And they never really touch the money. It's going through a program. It's going through a system. It's going through EBT. It's going through Section 8. So they never touch the money. Landlords are just filling out information. People are filling out information. All of these little programs are filling out information. And this is how the money is getting into the economy. It's money laundering through taxes is all it is. And I said, this is what was going on. Yeah, exactly. Giving them our money. And Rideshare, more like rip-off share. Exactly. And let me read a little more. It says payroll taxes on immigrant workers. They don't call them illegals. Payroll taxes on immigrant workers have even helped relieve pressure on the nation's embattled social security system. I have been telling y'all, these people are not coming here because we feel sorry for them. Corporate is bringing them in here. I said corporate has not complained. For the first time in the history of me being alive, corporate America has not complained about slaves being used in slave labor. We had a civil war in this country that was fighting the North against the South because the North was like, you guys can't be using slave labor. We're fighting a civil war. They fought a civil war. Current administration took down all the Civil War statutes to not tell people what we fought a civil war for. And now they're starting slave labor all over again. This is all about profits for corporate America. It has nothing to do with us as American people. This is not helping us as American people. This helps American corporations and help politicians get money under the table. And it says there are, of course, short-term public costs associated with acclimating so many new arrivals, plus government expenditures on education and health services for immigrants and their families, along with the political and social challenges. Many agree that the current immigration system is flawed and chaotic. Of course, we agree. But it's costing us as Americans our lifestyle. You guys are taking money from us out of our coffers. You're taking money from us to feed other countries right now because they're transferring all of our wealth to other countries. The transfer of wealth is up on us. And I tell people that all the time. This is the transfer of wealth they were talking about. You thought they were going to come to your house and take your wallet? No. They were going to just stop giving you money, stop giving you jobs, start giving it to other countries, start transferring our wealth out of the country. That is a transfer of wealth. It was never to make poor people more equitable. It was about making poor Americans lose what they got to give it to other countries to make other countries more equitable. World Economic Forum. There is no American Economic Forum. It was the World Economic Forum. We're grabbing people from all over the world to boost their country's economy, not America's economy. They're selling bullshit like, oh, the American economy is going amazing. We have horrible interest rates, can't get loans, can't buy a house, but yet the economy is going great. It's going great for corporate, but not for the people. Now, I'm going to read a little more. I can't wait to get in here, man. I cannot wait to dig into this. Is a good article. This is, but from a budgetary perspective, the additional federal spending on immigrants is projected to pale next to the increase in revenues from the millions more people working, paying taxes, buying goods and services, according to the Congressional Budget Office. That again, government is involved. They're saying what we're spending on these people, all the EBT we're giving to them, all the money we're giving to them pales in comparison next to the revenue they're going to create for corporate America. Why won't they give money to Americans that want good jobs? Why won't they give? Because Americans are not their concern. This administration is not concerned about Americans. It's concerned about making sure that corporations get the profits for the elite that they want to feed. And they're using slave labor to get there. From a budgetary perspective, the additional federal spending on immigrants is projected to pale next to the increase in revenue from the millions of people working. What about millions of Americans working? We can't do it. We can't do it. They don't want us to do it. It's a transfer of wealth. Get it, man. A lot of people ain't even getting it. They don't even, and I try to read these articles and I find these articles and I show people what's going on and they still don't get it. Short bus, man, short bus. And more than a few economics say, by easing the shortage of American workers as the U.S. population grows older and birth rates decline, and a lot of vaccinated people got super sick and can't work again, immigrants have played a large and positive role in maintaining a healthy, growing economy. This shit was not about asylum seeking. Listen to what I'm saying. Asylum seeking is a loophole. If you look at my comments, listen to the way I speak. I say there is a loophole in the immigration law. If you say asylum seeker, corporate America now has slaves. They got slaves that can come across, and it's international law. Once you claim to be an asylum seeker, you are now dealing with international law, not U.S. Constitution. So the U.S. has to say, hey, international governing body, what do? We have all these asylum seekers. Well, you can't use U.S. Immigration law. You have to use international law. And they're like, thanks, that's all we need to know. Hey, guys, we're going to have a ton of immigrants come over here working Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash for you. Trust me, this article gets better because it exposes everything I said. And this article is for immigration. It is selling the narrative of immigration. But everything they're saying is shit that I already said, and everybody told me, you don't know what you're talking about. This article is for immigration. Everything they're saying is the shit I've already said. So I'm like, man, let me find this. It says the hottest labor market that has existed in 2 generations, said an economics at George Mason University who specializes in international migration. This is the hottest labor market that has existed in 2 generations. The hottest labor market, says Michael Clemens, in economics at George Mason, who specializes in international migration. He specializes in international migration, talking about the labor market. He's not talking about we're saving these people from their heinous governments and he's talking about America. We finally got a labor market willing to take these cheap ass prices that we're paying so we can get corporate profits up. This is the hottest labor market that has existed in 2 generations. America wants immigrants because American elite can get their coffers filled. All these tax dollars being laundered around everywhere. Nobody knows where this is going. That means there has never been as many opportunities for immigrants and natives to mutually benefit each other through economic interaction in the last half century. Immigrants and natives. The natives they're talking about are corporate natives, elites, people who are using all these profits to get millions of bonuses, millions of dollars in salaries. It's not talking about the American workers. This is for opportunities for immigrants and the natives to mutually benefit each other. Mutually benefit how? Hey, if you come in and you work for slave laborers, that pumps my bottom line. We're mutually benefiting right now. But the fact that you coming in working for slave labor means I can look at an American and say, hey, man, if you're not willing to do it for $7 an hour, I got somebody who does. The American is priced out. So it's not mutually benefiting that American. This is mutually benefiting the elites, the slave owner and the slaves. It's a mutual deal here. You pick all my cotton, I give you somewhere to live. You pick all my cotton, I'll feed you every night. You pick all my cotton. It's mutually beneficial to the slave and the slave owner. They don't say nothing about the other people. We fought the Civil War because there was not mutual benefit in having slaves. The economy was jacked up. The inhumane treatment was jacked up. But yet we got these people stacked up in luxury hotels to make it look like it's good. Federal funding is funding all of these people with EBT, lodging, Section 8. This is why everybody's for it who deals with business. Because they're like, the government, the federal government is going to give us all this money. Man, this is going to be nice. Man. All we got to do is get these immigrants over here. Exactly. Mutually benefit by extracting the American economy out to other countries, literally taking our dollars and our money back to their families. And it's mutually beneficial because politicians that want this are getting kickbacks. They're getting more power over people who are powerless. Americans have power. We have purchasing power. We got buying power. We have political power. So if you take us out of the equation, you get everybody sick at the same time. And this is how you start the whole domino effect of taking over a country. Like I told you on previous live streams, the Aztec Empire fell with viruses. That's how they decimated the Aztec Empire. If you don't believe me, go look at your history. They destroyed the Aztec Empire by giving the Aztecs a virus in which they had no cure for. When they were too sick to fight, they went after the food supply. Now the Aztecs they were sick and they couldn't eat at the same time. If you don't believe me, go research your history. The Aztec Empire was destroyed without even fighting them. All they did was got them people sick, and then they came in and took over. They just sat back and said, just give it some time. We'll sit over here and just wait. We'll just sit and wait. They're going to start dropping like flies. We'll get them all sick. They're going to start dropping like flies. Research history. You don't think these people know history? These people are pretty intelligent when it comes to history. But if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. Why do you think they keep taking down historical statues? Why do you think they keep taking down historical streets and that? Because they don't want you to remember. They don't want you to remember how we got to the point where we at. The history is the truth. I don't care how negative and nasty and it makes me feel horrible. I don't care how you feel. It's still the truth. So if you don't tell me where I came from, you telling me where this is where we going. Well, first show me where I came from. Because for all I know, you could be repeating history. I wouldn't know that unless I knew history. Right now, we're repeating history. This is a bunch of slaves coming over without slave ships right now. This is slave labor, and they ain't got no whips and no chains and nothing like. These people are freely walking over being slaves over here because they don't get it. They don't get it. And Americans are fighting for our country. We trying to say, no, man, we don't want this. And corporate's like, ooh, the plantation is getting better. The plantation is getting stronger. This whole article is about the plantation getting stronger. I'm going to keep reading. Without immigration, I'm telling you, this whole article is about immigration and it's for immigration. But I love this article because it supported everything I've ever said. It supported everything I ever said. And I'm anti-illegal immigration. I'm for legal immigration, for it. If you want to legally come here and you want to go through the process and pay the money and I'm for that. Because if I wanted to go to another country, I would want to legally go into that country. I would have a visa. I would have a passport. I would want to legally be there. I don't want to illegally be in nobody's shit. So I'm for legal. I'm against illegal. And all this asylum seeker loophole shit. But I'm going to read. It says, without immigration, California's workforce would have fallen well short of its needs, especially since the high cost of living, soaring home prices, and other factors that have fueled notable outflow of population from the state. This is the most ironic, backwards thinking I've ever said. That one paragraph. Without immigration, California's workforce would have fallen short, especially since the high cost of living, soaring home prices, other factors, outflow of population. Then it has nothing to do with labor. It has to do with the cost of shit. So if everything is too expensive for the people already living in California, the Americans already living in California, the shit is too expensive. Why would you bring cheaper, lower earning people in and say, hey, California's for you? If the people making more can't afford this shit, it does not make sense. Does it make sense to bring lower, more impoverished people into a high cost of living? It doesn't make sense. This is the most ass backwards paragraph out of the whole thing. Without immigration, California's workforce would have fallen well short of its needs. We need slaves. We need low-paid people here so the elites can make the profit so we can afford to live here as elites. How you going to get cheap-ass, low-paid people to live in California if the people already living there saying, man, this is a high cost of living, the soaring home prices, and other factors. We need some slaves. Let's make California a slave again. Bring slaves in. This is the most ass backwards paragraph out of the whole thing. It explains why they're using immigration. It explains we're using immigration in the highest cost of living state, the soaring home prices state, and we're bringing in people working for $7 an hour, $5 an hour, $9 an hour, but yet you got somebody making $30 an hour that can't afford it. How can somebody making $30 an hour can't afford it, but somebody making $9 can afford it? Easy. Section 8. EBT, food stamps, cash on your card. You fund the immigrants with federal dollars so they can afford to live there. You fund them on the backs of Americans that are paying taxes so they can afford to live in California. You're paying for immigrants to live in a state that has a high cost of living, soaring home prices, landlords making money hand over fist because the government is funneling all this money there for immigrants. But the people who work hard, who live there, who even make more, they can't even afford to live there. This is the most ass backward paragraph to support immigration. We need immigration so we can get rid of Americans. That's basically what this shit says. Without immigration, without us paying EBT and paying for all these immigrants to be here, man, Californians will be leaving. Well, why don't you keep the cost down so Californians can stay? Why don't you keep the cost of living lower? So stop adding taxes, Gavin Newsom. Stop adding 30 cents a mile, 3 cents a mile, crazy shit. Stop making it expensive to live there and people will stop leaving. Don't say, well, since people are leaving, let's fund and funnel a ton of immigrants in here. Make them work for dirt cheap so they don't want $20 an hour just to afford to live here. Let's get them for $9 an hour. We're saving $11 per hour per immigrant now. But yet we're losing all this. And then they go back up to the top. What did it say? When I said something, it says there are, of course, short-term public costs associated with the acclimating so many new arrivals. That's the short-term public costs associated with acclimating so many new arrivals. But they say from a budgetary perspective, the additional federal spending on these immigrants is protected to pale next to the increase in revenues from the millions more people working. This is how they try to spend shit. Hey guys, you guys should want immigrants to be here. It's gonna cost us a little bit at first. We're gonna spend a little money to get them. Spend that money on Americans. Why are you spending on Americans? Because they don't want Americans to win. That's why they won't spend it on Americans. They will have every excuse in the book not to give Americans an increased housing stipend, more money so we don't have to live in an expensive state like California. How's an immigrant that ain't never set foot on this soil able to afford California, but somebody been living there for 20 years can't afford California? Make it make sense. Get a person that's been there for 20 years, some of them tax dollars, so we can boost the economy out there. Why give it to somebody that's just getting there? Because they want to be able to have slave labor. This ain't got shit to do with asylums, y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with asylum. This has to do with slave labor corporations, man. And this is why this article was so important and I wanted to read it. It's a lot more. It's a lot more. Trust me, man. Exactly. Most Californians need 2 or 3 jobs just to pay a bill. They need 2 or 3 jobs, man, just to pay. Because California, the article even says California's got a higher cost of living. Of course it does. Lower the cost and you can help Americans live there. Thank you, XPR. They just want to have an honest, they just have to be honest with themselves and state that they are reading history and by reintroducing slavery again, repeating history. Yeah, they can't be that dumb to believe their own lie. They can't be that dumb to believe their own lie. Thank you. People cannot be that dumb to believe the lies that are being spouted in these narratives. We sitting here saying it's too expensive for Americans. Oh, it's too expensive for you. Oh, don't worry. We're going to fund immigrants to come and take over this land. You could just leave. You can leave California. Bye. See you. You're not going to lower my rent. No, we're not lowering your rent. Your rent's actually going to go up, but we're going to actually bring in federal dollars to offset that. But instead of giving it to you, we're going to give it to some immigrants instead. So you could just leave. You could leave California. We got slave labor coming in because they even said, hey, the low cost of initial cost of living, like it's going to be offset by all the revenues we're going to make with all these new slaves working. It's going to be amazing, y'all. Just give it some time. It says from 2021 to 2023, the population of U.S. citizens aged 16 and older living in California fell by 625,000. The population of U.S. citizens living age 16 and older fell in California by 625,000. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, while employment increased by 725,000. So you have people in California, 16 and older. People are passing away. People are dying. People are sick, whether it's virus or where, because 2021 and 2023, those were pandemic years. So to say these people didn't die of the pandemic, trust me, they got sick. A lot of people got sick from 2021 because 2020 is when the shit was hitting the fan. 2020 is when everybody was getting the shots. 2021 to 2023, what did we tell everybody when we was called conspiracy theories? It's going to be a lot of people dying, a lot of people leaving this earth. Oh, a lot of people left California. We don't know how, whether they drove out, died out, got buried out. We don't know. But they saying 625,000 people left California in those 3 years. But employment increased by 725. Now, they're saying employment increased by 725 because in 2021, I guarantee there was a kid that was 15 who wasn't employed. There were kids that were 14 that weren't employed. There were people who had their own businesses, lost their businesses, and had to now be employed. So you come from self-employed or retired to now trying to afford life, and you're employed again. So even though employment may increase by 725,000, that's not 100% of the people that are immigrants there. So for them to say, oh, immigrants are doing this, they're replacing people. This is the replacement theory. Look, 625 people fell out of California. They don't say whether through death, leaving, they don't sick, can't work no more because the shot fucked them up. They don't know. But they not saying why 625,000 people don't work no more. But they're saying, but 725,000 are now. Well, some of those people, like I said, they were probably 14 in 2021. They were probably 13, 14, 15. Once they turned 16, now they got a job now. So that could be anything. They were probably unemployed leading into 2021. They were probably had their own company, sold their company. Now they're employed at somewhere else. So that employment number is very ambiguous. Another paragraph that you can't really bank on because they're not telling you the whole fucking truth about that paragraph. You should tell us how many immigrants are in that number. Don't just tell me how many people are work. Oh, employment increased by 725. How many of that is the immigrants though? To blame immigrants on anything, tell me what the number is in there. They won't. It's a narrative they're selling. They sell you a narrative when they give you ambiguous numbers and throw numbers at you, and they make you think the shit they told you at first is the reason why that number exists. No, the shit you told me at first, I've already forgot about it. This is a new paragraph. Okay, I'm gonna read this new paragraph like a new paragraph. Tell me, out of 625,000, since we had COVID screens running on the screen, tell me how many of those people had COVID and died. Oh, we don't know. How you not know? We was counting that shit for the longest time. Tell me how many of those people had COVID and died, no longer live in California. Because once you die, you don't live no more. So you can't live in California. To live and die in LA, motherfucker. How many of those people are sick now from having shots reported? How many got, reported vaccine injuries? How many of that number where they can't work no more? Tell me in that number. So there's a lot of shit about these numbers during a pandemic period where you're not telling me the truth about this whole number. But you had that shit running across the bottom of my screen for 2 years. And all of a sudden, I don't see a ticker no more. Now, immigrants are here. There's no ticker, but there's a whole lot of immigrants now. Yeah, we're going to replace people now. We need to replace some people. And it says, over that period, however, the unemployment rates for native-born and foreign-born Californians fell by similar levels, an indication that immigrants are not taking away American jobs. Oh, they're not taking away American jobs. The unemployment rate for native-born and foreign-born Californians fell by similar levels, an indication that immigrants are not taking away American jobs. I'm sorry, but anybody who's a driver in California, tell me, are you making the same amount of money you're making now? They tell you they're not taking away your job, but do they tell you if they're taking away income? Incrementally, you have to be taking away income. I can still have my job, but you can cut my hours. You can cut my pay, but I still have my job. All this shit is ambiguous. We're not taking away a job, Jeff. You're still a driver, right? Yeah, I'm still a driver, but I ain't making $2,000 a week no more. Shit, I'm lucky to make $600-700 a week on these fucking apps a week now. And I got a bigger truck now. I'm lucky to make that. I don't even fucking go out sometimes because it's so trash. So yeah, I still got a job. You ain't take away my job. You just took away my income. That's different. Job does not always equal income. Job means you are categorized as having one, not having one. So I still have a job, but I just don't have the income. Keep it 100. And it's like, yeah. And they're going to throw away. Yeah. It's that bullshit. They're not taking our jobs. And that's the thing. They leave jobs on the table. Everybody's still like active on the apps. And everybody still have companies that are open. But you look at the company's revenue numbers. Companies are closing their doors. American-based companies are closing their doors in record numbers. Tech layoffs are massive right now. Research the shit on Google. Just type in tech layoffs 2024. Guaranteed. They'll be like, well, they're not taking American jobs, though. Because all these companies have to shut their doors now. They've got to shut their doors because they can't afford to stay open with the increase in costs everywhere unless they get cheaper labor. Now, let me see something. Let me go down here real quick. I'm going to go a little bit. And I'm going to put this whole article, I'm going to put this clip, actually, there's a link in the description of the video so anybody can get it. Let me see. Separate employers data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows more than 70% of the nearly 400,000 payroll jobs added in California between June 22 and June 24 have been in just two industries: social assistance, such as health services for the elderly, and childcare, leisure, and hospitality, primary, both restaurants. But that's saying of payroll jobs, of the nearly 40,000 payroll jobs. Like, a lot of people want to forget that word payroll. See, we're not on nobody's payroll. As a driver, I'm not on anybody's payroll. I'm self-employed. I'm on nobody's payroll. So when it says more than 70% of the nearly 400,000 payroll jobs, that's not jobs, period. Payroll describes the type of job it is. So payroll jobs mean you got to have documentation like social security numbers, this and that. You got to have all this. They're not doing that. It's harder to buy fake documentation to get a payroll job than it is to get a gig job. Oh yeah, not only that, but they're made one person responsible for 2 to 3 employees work. Exactly. Was that the recession should reset some of the immigration issues. When it happens, illegals will be affected the most. Oh yeah. It's gonna get them. And so that's talking about payroll jobs right there. And it claims to say both sectors are heavily dependent on immigrant workers, which I find no, because healthcare service for the elderly and childcare, healthcare services for the elderly and childcare, leisure and hospitality, primarily hotels and restaurants. So therefore, you're looking for housekeepers and cooks. But if it's social assistance, such as health services and elderly and childcare, how can you have somebody who speaks a different language than your child taking care of your child? Your child won't know what the hell they're talking about. So I find this kind of ambiguous. Oh yeah, it's more immigrants working in health services and elderly child care for the elderly and child care. How you gonna have somebody who don't speak the language working for elderly? Unless you got them just cleaning up, unless you got them just doing cooking and stuff like that. I mean, that's the only way I can see health services and involving immigrants in anything, because with the language barrier, it's going to be a lot harder to do that job than just hiring an American and giving out American federal money. Why would you give EBT to a immigrant working healthcare saying, well, this healthcare job doesn't pay you a lot, so we're going to give you $20,000 a month in EBT? Get that shit to an American. Why wouldn't you say, hey, I want to see an American EBT balance at $20,000? Why would you want to see an immigrant's balance at $20,000? If these Americans could use the same money, give them to Americans. Here we are. This is our country. Give us the money too. Don't just give it to other people. Say, well, because we got them working for low wages, we got to take care of with government funds. That's what my Venezuela video talks about. Because they willing to work for $3 a month, we got to pay for your housing. We're going to pay for your stipends for food. We're going to cover all that because we got you working for so less. We're using a Venezuelan model in America with these immigrants now. We're saying the government will take care of you if you're willing to work for dirt cheap. Boost these corporations' profits. You boost their profits, all the shareholders are happy. People start investing back into America again because they're like, well, we can invest into American companies and we're going to win because America's importing a lot of cheap labor. Well, what about the American people? Fuck them. We'll be living off their credit cards. We'll make money out of their savings. They'll have to get equity loans on their houses, take out double mortgages. And with all that money, we're winning. Well, what about the immigrants? We'll give them higher EBT. We'll keep them working. That's our slave class. Those are the workers now. Middle class is gone. It's wiped out. There is no middle class. It's slave class. Take all the money you can get out of the middle class. People with money, fuck up their credit, take all their savings, do what you can do. Make their houses become so many mortgages on their houses they can't even afford the mortgage payment. They'll sell it to us and we'll rent it out to somebody now and get government money for it. At some point, it's going to be elites. Middle class is now going to be like the non-existent class and just poor. Everybody's going to be poor. And you're going to have the people like in Venezuela who are working for the government. They have the better jobs because they're funded by the government. So the government takes care of them as long as they do the work for dirt cheap. That's what my video is saying. But let me go down. I'm going to read some more of this real quick because there's something even better in here. Oh, I said, okay, at the border, Angie got a notice to appear at immigration court in May 2025. So she has a notice to appear at immigration court in May of 2025, and she can stay in the U.S. legally until at least that time. But migrants have to wait 150 days after they formally apply for asylum before they can receive employment authorization. 150 days is about 5 months. So migrants have to wait about 5 months after they formally apply for asylum before they can receive employment authorization. So they're legally here simply because they have to appear in court. You got to stay. We're not going to let you go back to your country because you need to stay here to appear in court in May of 2025. So we're going to let you stay here. We're going to have to pay for you to stay here. We're going to give you money, hotel, food, and you can apply for asylum while you're staying here. So as you're staying here, apply for asylum. Loophole. That's the loophole. Apply for, say you're distraught. Loophole. Apply for asylum, and we'll give you employment authorization so you can work while you wait on your notice to appear in court. So now you're getting funded, you're getting money, you're getting hotel, you're getting EBT, all while you illegally entered the country. But because you illegally entered our country, we're about to take care of you because we're going to keep you here, you little slave. We know exactly how to use this situation to our benefit because immigration is beneficial. You sneak over, We feed you, clothe you, give you a notice to appear, so you're legally here. You can't leave. Nobody can deport you, because if they deport you, how can you appear in court? You got to appear in federal immigration court. You got to appear in court. So a state can't deport you if you federally have to be here for court. Now, while you're here hanging out, we already gave you some documentation. Y'all saw my Canadian video about them already having federal documentation when they got to the border. Where'd the documentation come from? Their country don't even type in English. So for them to have English written federal U.S. government documents as they cross the border, somebody gave them that shit on the other side. So they're coming over here already with the documentation. All they got to do is hurry up and apply for asylum. Now you get employment authorization. So now you got employment authorization. You're here legally. Nobody can get rid of you because you have a notice to appear in immigration court. Loopholes, I'm telling you. And it says Angie began working almost immediately upon arrival. First at a clothing business. More recently, she found work in housekeeping at a hotel in Los Angeles. Her husband remodels houses. So the moment she got here, she was working at a clothing business. Then she found work in housekeeping, but they're saying migrants have to wait 150 days before they can formally apply for asylum, before they can receive employment authorization. So it's saying you have to wait 150 days, but it says here she began working almost immediately. So without even having the authorization to work, she's working here already. This is how I'm telling you, this is how the system is working. This is the loophole. And I wanted to go over this article with everybody because I see a lot of times when we're doing all these videos and we see people in our videos making comments without knowing what the hell they talking about. No, people can't do this. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Everything I have said is saying they got to have some type of documentation to work. This lady says she started working immediately when she got here. Now they're saying migrants have to wait 150 days before they can apply for asylum, before they can receive employment authorization. But this lady even said, I began working immediately. I didn't wait no 150 days. I got here and started making money. And they put these people up on top of that. When they get here, they put them up. It says, wait a minute. It says Angie and her family were among 3.3 million immigrants who arrived in the U.S. last year after a net immigration of 2.6 million in 2022. So that is what? 5.9, almost 6 million people in 2 years, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Those numbers are roughly triple the average number in the prior decade. Those numbers are triple. A similarly large number is expected this year, although immigration over the long haul is likely to return to around 1 million a year, experts say, which is funny. 1 million a year has never been what we've had, because if 2.6 million a year, 2.6 million a year is what happened in 2022, 3.3 million. And they're saying these numbers are like triple. That means it normally we're under 1 million, because 2.6 million, that's about 800,000. But we know even during the Trump administration, it wasn't even that high. Even during the Obama administration, it wasn't that high. So they're trying to sell the fact that, hey, we get about 1 million a year. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't do 1 million a year here. I guarantee we don't do 1 million a year here. Wait a minute. There's some other stuff in here, man. Oh, wait a minute. No one knows how many immigrants who arrive in California decide to stay here. Over the years, increasing opportunities in other states and California's high cost of living has made it less attractive as a final destination. The latest Census Bureau for 2022 shows that 27% of California residents are foreign-born, about double the U.S. share. 27% of California residents are foreign-born, about double the U.S. share. Don't know what that means, but if that's saying 12% is, legally here, 27% are legally here, I don't know. That's crazy. That's a crazy number. Most of the immigrants' increase in recent years have been driven by foreign nationals entering illegally, asylum seekers, and hundreds and thousands of people from Ukraine, Venezuela, Haiti, and other countries who enter under humanitarian programs and can apply for work authorization. So if you enter under humanitarian programs, that is asylum seeking, that's a humanitarian program, you can apply for work authorization. Oh, wait a minute. Wait till I read this other part, because I read this. Y'all gonna love this shit. Y'all gonna love it. Oh, wait a minute. That's because I'm gonna give you this article so you guys can kind of read some of it yourself. I'm only reading the good parts. Okay. This guy right here says, during his recent trip to southern China, researching international migration, UCLA professor Raul Ojeda met with people in Yunnan province who were preparing to immigrate to the U.S. by entering through Tijuana. They saw it on TikTok, how to do it, Ohada said. So they're watching TikTok to see how to get into America. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. And I'm trying to read, man, this when I tell y'all, say they're getting a worker. Say, although the labor market isn't as tight as California at 5.2% in June, the unemployment rate isn't far off historical lows for the state. Employers are still adding thousands of jobs a month, with some positions going to workers without legal status. Employers are still adding thousands of jobs a month, with some positions going to workers without legal status. It says they're getting a worker. The only downside is if they get in trouble for it, and that doesn't happen often. Refugee operations manager at the International Institute of LA, a 110-year-old organization. He helps refugees and other immigrants or whatever. The nonprofit job placement shows many new arrivals are employed as drivers. That's what I was looking for. The nonprofit's job placement record shows that many new arrivals are employed as drivers, security guards, caregivers, and warehouse workers. The vast majority earn minimum wage to about $20 an hour, which means some earn above, some earn less. So they're telling you right there, many new arrivals are employed as drivers. So when people say, well, they're not taking driver jobs, they're not taking our jobs. They're employed as drivers. But guess what? They're taking our revenue. They're taking our income. If they're taking all of our money, we can't sit up there and say, hey, you know what? I'm making the same $2,000. You're making $2,000. This is crazy. We're both making two. No, our numbers get lower and lower. We're making like 600 a week now, 700 a week. But the thing is, I don't drive nearly as much. I don't use that much gas now because I don't drive that much. When I do leave, I'm going to show you guys what I did last night. Just one trip I did last night. You're going to be like, holy shit, this is crazy. Let me find that. There is something else over it because I saw it in here. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. So there's something else in here. And when y'all see it, y'all going to be like, I fucking knew it. I swear they put Uber in this article. I can't even find it in here. I can't find it. So we're going to skip over that one. And I'm going to show you guys something that I did last night. We'll come back to that immigration, but I need to show you guys what I did last night because this was a crazy number. And I showed a couple of people already and it never happens, which is why I think somebody got gouged. We're going to come back to this article in a second. All right, let me share a screen with you guys. I'm going to share this screen here. Share screen window here. Share. All right. So this right here was a trip I did last night. And y'all know me, I don't drive that much. I do not drive that much at all. But this was a 107. The upfront was $156. I declined probably about 20 rides in a row before this ride popped up at 2:00 in the morning. I declined about 20 rides in a row, $8 rides, $7 rides, $11 rides, $20 for 20-mile rides. I declined all of this shit. I'm not showing you the mileage yet. I'm not showing you yet. I'm just telling you how much shit I declined nonstop. I would not take a ride for nothing. I was not taking a ride. Hell no. They sent this at $156. And I was like, where the hell is this going? Like Flagstaff or something? I never got a $156 offer. It was only going 39 miles. That was it. It was only going 39 miles. 46 minutes is how long it took me to make $171. And I'm like, what's the catch? Like, what is the catch to this? $156, 40 miles. And it was just from Old Town Scottsdale. I was right around the corner from them. Old Town up to like Anthem. So as you can see, I was only 0.98 of a mile away from them. So they were right around the corner from me. And then I just drove them. And somehow they charged these people $255. They charged these people $255. When the guys got in the car, I said, hey, man, I don't know how much you guys paid. This is what I said. I said, I don't know how much you guys paid. I said, but I'm actually getting like $156 for this ride. He was like, oh, man, we paid like $240, $250 for this ride. I said, dude, I'll do it for $200 on Cash App. I told him, I said, I'll do it for $200 on Cash App. He was like, we're from Canada. We don't have Cash App and Venmo. I said, what? He says, we don't have Cash App or Venmo. I was like, oh, but I said, well, y'all about to get had, man. I said, because I'm going to do the ride, man, because I'm like, it's good money, but I was trying to help out, man, where I could. They paid $200 plus $255 plus the tip. So they paid $270. I got $170 out of the $270 they paid. They walked away, Lyft walked away with $100 in fees. $100 in fees is what they got for that damn trip. $100 in fees for less than an hour drive. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. It upset me, man, because I don't like people doing that to people. That kind of upset me, man. Yeah, the dude didn't have Cash App or Venmo. He was like, I don't got Cash App or Venmo. I was like, bruh. I said, I'm trying to help you, man. I really am. Like, because this is a lot. They don't even give us 200. They don't give us this much money when we go 110 miles to Tucson. They only give you $60, $70 to go 110 miles. So how am I getting $150 for this trip on extra comfort? It was just extra comfort is all it was. Something was wrong. I'm like, I don't know if the system glitched or something. I had no surge. There is no surge on this trip. You don't see any surge. So there's no surge. It just says extra comfort. That's it. It's not even black SUV. It's nothing. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell just happened, but you guys just got had, man. I took the trip, but I was like, man, I'll let them have it. I'll let them have it. I said, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, the American dream. And man, like I said, I wanted to bring that article up, man. I wanted to bring that. A soldier was going 2 miles and they were charging him $37. I be trying to help people. So Vera, I'm out here trying to help people. And I see our economy getting drained and given to these apps. And these apps are turning around, giving this money to immigrants. And immigrants are sending this money to their country. Totally cool. Totally cool. If you want to take care of your family, take care of your family. But don't hurt Americans in the process of you taking care of your people. Don't come to our country, hurt our people just so you can be better in your country. Because how did your country get to where it was? Y'all were in your country. You didn't get your government right. You didn't get your work and shit right. Your infrastructure didn't go right. Your country went in a hole. So now you come bounce to another country. And that's what's happening here now. Our infrastructure is not right. Everything is dilapidated. Everything's falling apart. And yet we're going to sit here and be like, when these immigrants are done, when the election is done and everybody's got to go back home, these companies are going to realize their profits dropping rapidly. I mean, quick, fast, in a hurry. So, yeah. So they gave you a decent trip for once. Bruh, I've only done 3 trips all week. Yesterday, I was out for that 42-minute ride plus another 27-minute ride. I was probably out last night for an hour and a half. I made like $200 in like an hour and a half, something like that. That was it. $200 and I call it good because I'm like, I'm not going to be in these streets all night, man. I'm not. And usually I'll go out, do a trip. I'll do a $33 airport trip, call it a night, $33. I'm cool for the night. I'm good. If I take somebody to and from a hotel, my private line, I got private rides lined up tomorrow and everything. But if the money's not there, I don't force the issue because I'm not going to have my car being torn up. I'm not going to run up all these miles on this truck, throwing gas in. I don't put gas in that truck. This is a big ass truck. I put gas in this truck maybe twice a week. And each time I put gas in, it's like $40. I'll put $40 in, drive that for about 3 or 4 days, make about $300-$400. Then like, okay, cool. Do it again. Put $40 in, drive about 3 or 4 days, make about $300-$400. Like I said, I'm only making like $600 a week. That's it. Private rides and everything like that. But the fact that I'm not spending any money, that kind of helps me out a little bit. I'm not spending any money. So I'm out there. I'm trying to get, more mechanic work done. Anything to stay out of this heat. Anything to stay out of this heat. This is migrants take jobs Americans don't want to work and won't take for the pay that is offered. That's true. Migrants take jobs Americans won't take the pay for that is offered. That's exactly because they want to offer us as low as they possibly can to generate higher profits. And we don't care about that. We need to feed our families. So when they're taking these low paying jobs and we're like, bruh, you corporate guys are making record salaries. You're making record salaries, record bonuses, record profits, but paying people record low wages. Nobody sees that. I'm like, nobody pays attention to that. You're taking record record salaries and paying us record low wages. And that huge gap right there, that huge gap is what you claim is the economy. The economy is amazing. Look at all these corporations making a ton of money on these people's backs. The economy is amazing during slavery. Them people wanted to fight for slaves. They was like, we ain't giving up our slaves. We fighting for this. We're going to fight for this. And what do you think Tony West is doing, going on campaign with the Democrats? He's fighting for his slaves. We fighting for this. We don't want to make these people employees. We want to keep them as independent contractors, keep them to the point where we can pay them $7, $8 an hour. We can do that. What up, Big C? What up? And the problem with they going is a group of immigrants. Lots of them are awake. Oh, yeah. And a lot of the immigrants, like I said, there's guys that I've run into immigrants who've been here for 20 years. Immigrants have been here for 20 years. They like, dude, we don't play that shit. They try to send us these cheap rides, these little pigeon rides. Man, I'll tell a person $75. There's immigrants here that are legally here that's been there. They know the American system. The immigrants that have been here know how the game works. They know what it's about. But yet the new people that's coming over that's getting paid $3 a month, $7.50 a month. They have, I just made $7.50 an hour. So if they make $7.50 an hour, where they come from making $7.50 a month, for every 12 hours they work, every single day they work, they adding a year onto their life in their country. Because if $7.50 is a month and you're doing $7.50 an hour for 12 hours straight, you just added 12 months onto your life in your country, living exactly how you living. So for every day they go out for 12 hours, every day, hey man, if you work 30 days straight, 12 hours a day, $7.50 an hour, that's 30 years you just added to your life. 30 years, transfer the money. Because we're going to pay for your house and we're going to give you EBT. We're going to give you Uber EBT cash. We're going to give you everything you need. All you got to do is just spend the tax money we giving you, spend that tax money here in America on EBT. Go to the grocery store with your EBT. Pay your landlord with the cash, with the Section 8. Do all that. But transfer all the money you making from work to your country. So for every $7.50 you make, that's a month on your life. Every 12 hours you work, 12 hours you working, that's 12 months. That's a year you making adding on to your life. So you do that shit for 30 days. That's 30 years you add to your life. That's for your kid. Now do it for you. Work again next month. All right, that's for your wife. Now do it again next month. That's for your uncle. Do it next month. That's for your grandma. So every month you do 30 days at 12 hours, you're earning a life, 30 years for each person you dealing with over there in Venezuela, over there in Somalia. That's 30 years of life. You just took care of your kid for the rest of his life now. You got a 6-year-old kid at home. Tell you what, by the time he run out of his money, he'll be 36 because you just worked 30 days straight at $7.50. You basically just earn your kid's life for the next 30 years in Venezuela. Transfer that money over there. Because for us over here, for $7.50, that ain't shit. They making $7.50 a whole month over there. That ain't shit over here. So they're like, man, we living like kings, man. We came to America. We funneling all the money out of America. We making sure our country is taken care of. We got money in the banks where our banks are. And as long as it's U.S. dollars, the U.S. dollars, like, we're strong because you guys are using our currency. But they're just exchanging it, whatever. They coming over, earning it, and they transferring it over there. Oh, I know. Of severe Americans even do that shit. We already know what they doing. The only thing about Americans doing it is Americans only get like maybe, $200-$300 a month on their EBT. They get $200-$300 a month on EBT. I'm telling you, it's money laundering going on with our tax dollars. Because how much are these illegals getting every month on EBT? $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, who knows? And all they doing is selling it. Hey, I'll go to the grocery store for you. What do you want from the grocery store? I want this. Give me a whole list. All right, cool. I just spent, $300 on groceries you told me to get. $294 exactly. I just spent $300 on groceries you told me to get. Give me $150 cash. $150 cash, give me $150 cash. And that's what they doing. They're taking the EBT, going shopping for the people they know, getting it in cash. Here, you can have the groceries. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to buy all the stuff on my EBT. How much you want for it? Here, there you go. For the first single adult, the most they can receive is $294 a month. Exactly. So how they getting $294 a month as an American, but yet as an illegal, you get like thousands a month. Man, it's crazy. Oh, yeah. The gangs now have mansions. And Americans don't even realize we're funneling terrorism. I know we're funding terrorism. I know it. I feel it. With all this money leaving our country, where do you think it's going? To people with ice cream stands and that's it? No, there's people that know. They know, hey, we know Julio's in America right now. Julio been up there. We sent him up there. We're the cartel. We sent Julio up there. We paid for Julio to go up there. So we need our return on investment. We got Julio to America. Julio said he's going to be sending us money every month. We ain't getting our money. And as soon as all these cartels is getting banked up because Julio's got to send money back and they're going to kill his family. I mean, the cartel said, we're going to send him up there to work. He worked for us too. So he's sending y'all money back every month, but he better send us our cut every month because he got to pay us. And Americans know this shit. A lot of people know that they're funneling money back and forth and cartels are involved. Even the video I dropped last time said, we know cartels are involved in this. We know it. Anybody with a brain knows cartels. Why wouldn't they be involved? You really think cartels are going to sit back? Watch Julio, Maria, all these people just come up to America, make all this money, send all their money. They making more money than what the cartel is making, because at the rate of exchange, the cartel's gonna be like, you know what? Let's get involved in this. This is what we do. We'll fund all y'all to get up to America, but y'all got to pay us back. You don't pay us back, we'll kill your family. They ain't got to sell drugs no more. They can just traffic people now. We ain't got to sell drugs no more. We traffic people now. We send people to America. We traffic them up there. Do whatever it takes for you to make money. But I just know every week I better see this much hitting my account through Western Union. If I don't see this much hitting my account through Western Union, I'm coming for them people. I'm coming for your people. So what are they doing? They're out here prostituting, doing schemes, scams, whatever it is, man. They're out there doing whatever it takes to make money. And America's happy with it. The whole government is happy with it. The government's like, hey, as long as you guys are over here working for pennies on a dollar and corporations are making profits, that's all we really care about. It's sad shit, man. It's sad shit. Man. And we sitting here watching it. There's another video that I had. I'm going to see if I can do this. Hold up for a second. This shit's moving slow today. I don't know why my computer's moving slow. I'm going to have to restart this thing in a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It was something that I saw. Oh, this thing. I don't know how many of y'all saw this shit. Man, this is fucking crazy. Man, watch this. I'm going to show y'all something. What up, Frank? My brother. Man, I'm going to show y'all something right here. Y'all going to be like, what the hell? Look at this. Listen to this. An Uber driver got pepper sprayed. Check this out.
Pix 11 exclusive. An Uber ride in Manhattan taking a terrifying turn for the driver. A passenger right there is suddenly pepper spraying him. The attack caught on camera.
Yeah, this video is difficult to watch. Tonight, the victim is speaking out only to Pix 11, and he believes that this was racially motivated, but the woman is denying it. So what are police saying? Our Anthony DiLorenzo has the exclusive story.
Yeah, Severe.
This is in your area, Severe. Dash camera video from a 10-minute Uber ride that the driver says was otherwise unremarkable until it wasn't. It's Wednesday night, nearing 11:30 on the Upper East Side. Uber driver Shohel Mahmood is on the phone, while his passengers, Jennifer Gilbo and a friend, are quietly sitting in the back.
Listen to this
then
shit.
Suddenly, 90 seconds into this dash camera video,
for no reason.
What? Police say unprovoked, the 23-year-old attacks Mahmood and pepper sprays him in the face.
Jen! What the
Only mumbling,
out of this? Get him out. Get him out.
In my whole face, it's like burning near the last
crazy,
2 hours. I
man.
thought they're gonna be trying to hijack my car.
We spoke exclusively with that driver back to work Friday night.
Her and like the people like her. This is not right way to treat people.
That's
NYPD
crazy,
officers arrested
crazy.
Gilbo on the scene and charged her with assault.
Why do you do that?
Assault. They should charge her with attempted murder. Dude could have wrecked that car. He was
While
driving.
neither the department or the DA are currently charging this as a bias attack, the Bangladeshi father of 3 believes it is because of his skin color.
Look at
What
that
I
shit.
figured out,
Bro was just
finally
driving.
see the video.
He was just
is
driving.
for my body color.
In a statement, the taxi workers union told us, quote, "This is such a gross, racist, violent attack. The DA needs to prosecute using both anti-hate crime and taxi driver protection laws." Uber, meantime, told Pix 11 News the young woman has been banned from the app, saying the rider's actions shown in the video are deplorable. Violence is not tolerated. When we reached out to Gilbo for comment, her family denied it being a hate crime, but had no other explanation.
She's fucking
The district
crazy.
attorney's office says that young woman is due in court for an arraignment on that misdemeanor assault charge later this month. I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
Man, I'm gonna watch this next one right here.
To that seemingly unprovoked attack on an Uber driver caught on camera. That driver says he hadn't said a word to his 2 passengers when one of them suddenly lunges forward. Look at that, pepper spraying him in the face. That woman now facing charges. On the Upper East Side, here's Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson.
This is where she climbed over.
Yep.
The woman right there, Jennifer Gilbo, riding in Shohel Mahmood's car, when out of nowhere, she appears to snap, lunging at the Uber driver, dousing him with pepper spray. It was burning you.
Yes. It's burning last 2 hours.
Shoel picked up Jennifer and a friend on West 46th Street, but when they got to 65th and Lex, things quickly went south early Wednesday morning.
What?
Shoel insists he hadn't said a word to the ladies. The other passenger appears just as stunned.
Done what?
Repeatedly asking her friend why she was doing this, Jennifer would only say,
Get him out.
get him out. In the first few seconds, Shoel tells me he tried to get out, but his seatbelt was on.
I'm like kind of hanging out in the car. So I just take it out the buckle.
His car was
and
still
close
moving.
my eyes and get out. And then I realize my car is running. I
The car
jump
was
in
still moving.
and put in park position and get out.
Man, that could have came out
Jennifer's
bad.
roommate tells me she had no idea this had happened, even though she was just in touch with Jennifer last night. Jennifer did not answer the door. A young lady who has a website.
Good afternoon, and thank you for listening to Health and Wellness with Jen.
Get this, centered around health and wellness, indicating she has a background in PR. Shoel is a married father of three. His mom also lives with the family who is from Bangladesh. He is the breadwinner and tells me because of all of this, financially, he is now struggling.
I just work 4 or 5 hours and I come back home.
Police did arrest Jennifer. She's charged with assault and now has a lawyer who at this point is not commenting.
Man, that right there, that shit, man, health and mushrooms, man. And I tell people, man, this is what we deal with out there in the public for real. And this guy, I'm gonna tell you right now, he's legally here. I just feel he's one of these guys who's legally here. You can tell just by the way he carries himself, the way he has, you know, they know his real name. He's not scared to be on camera. He's not scared to have his car. That's really his car. This is the type of guy that we would see as a driver out there really trying to take care of his family, really trying to do shit the right way. No scams involved, no bullshit. This guy, he's legit. He's 100% legit. And I hope he gets paid by Uber. I hope he gets paid by, you know, her attorney, sue her ass, whatever he should be allowed to take care of his family. Because that shit right there, man, dude, he could end up killing somebody. Imagine you was in a club zone with people walking across the street and everything, and somebody started pepper spraying you in the face. You jump out the car, run over people all in front of you. They probably sue you for running them over. But yeah, the lady she pepper spraying you. Well, it was your car, Jeff. Man, I'm getting pepper spray. What the fuck I'm supposed to do? Yeah, Uber, man, and Uber be vetting the wrong people. They vet the wrong people. And that lady right there, I guarantee that was not her account. They said, oh, she's been banned from the account. I guarantee it was probably the other lady's account, because Uber didn't say whether or not they're going to take, you know, matters into their hands for, because they need to be responsible for that. Especially if this is that lady's account, they need to be responsible for that, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Say they would have sued Uber and Uber would deactivate them real quick. So I'm gonna deactivate you. Like, motherfucker, your people pepper sprayed me. How you gonna deactivate me when I got pepper sprayed? Oh yeah, San, my driving at night is crazy. I don't really do. And the summertime is even worse because it's hot. And people know in summertime, bad things happen in summer when it's hot because people are already miserable because of the heat. I don't do a lot of hours in the summertime. I definitely don't do days. And when it comes to nighttime, I don't mess with it. I won't deal with it, man. Nope. See, I'll stay away from that shit because people are crazy, man. They're crazy. Where we at? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share another screen because one guy, what up, time to wake up? What up? I'm gonna show you guys this right here, the Lyft stock. Now remember, it closed the other day at 1092. It closed August the 2nd at 1092. It closed. Right now, today, it's at 1087. It's a nickel lower. So it's even lower than last week when it closed August the 2nd at 1092. It's down after hours trading, has it all the way down to $10.87 a share. I'm telling y'all, this shit's going to drop to the point where it's going to be $10 a share. Lyft is going down, man. Lyft is going down to $10 a share. Let me look at Uber real quick. I'm going to look at Uber share price. Yep, Uber, they closed the other day at what, $58.99. That's when they closed, $58.99. They're right now at $58.72. They're down even further than Lyft went down. So they dropped 27 cents. 27 cents since closing on August the 2nd. They've already dropped 27 cents, almost 0.5%. That's a lot of money when you got 4 billion shares out there. 27 cents times 4 billion shares is about $1 billion. That's about $1 billion they've dropped just over the weekend. They've lost $1 billion over this weekend. $1 billion. All the money that these rides we've been doing and everything like that. All the rides we've been doing. Here we go. Say Jeff Shorts theory from previous videos of the shoe fits. Exactly. It is going low because I think they tried, just like when Hertz tried to sell this EV shit. What happened to Hertz when they tried to? The Hertz CEO got canned. He got fired. Do not believe the narratives these people are trying to sell. Do not believe the narratives. They will try to sell you a narrative. They will put in the media, just like what they're doing to Trump. They will put in the media all negative stuff about what you shouldn't, what they don't want you to do, but all positive stuff, not truth, but positive stuff of what they do want you to do. They kept selling that Hertz shit. And what happened? Hertz went to the hole because truth is always going to win. Truth is always going to win. And now they got Uber and Lyft is trying to sell this whole narrative. Hey, we got all these immigrants coming in. We got, Tony West. He's with the Democratic Party right now. We sent him out. We're going to win. We got immigrants about to get on board. All drivers and riders are saying, hey, we're going to link up. This is what we do. We're going to link up and we're going to do private rides and cash rides. This is what we're going to do. They can't fight that. Americans are very resourceful on our own soil. We know what we're doing over here. If we know that corporations are plotting and planning against us, I got my own car keys. I see somebody that need a ride. I'm going to try to give them a deal. I'm going to try to help them out. I'm going to say, not only am I going to help you out, but we're helping out our local economy. Because don't think that these apps are putting money into our local economy. All this money they're throwing, they throw a ton of money at Ukraine. They're throwing a ton of money at immigrants. They ain't throwing no money at Americans. When the pandemic first hit, they was giving people, what, $300 a week, something weird like that? Giving people like $1,200 a month. I think it was $1,200 a month they was giving people. And that's all they was getting, $1,200 a month. But nobody was working. Only people were working with the people they were allowing to work. Essential jobs were working. So they didn't give anybody any money, $1,200 a month, and said, live off of that. But not only are we're going to let you do that, we're going to say nobody has to pay rent. We're abating all rent. So everybody was like, wait a minute, so we can live rent free and you're going to give us $1,200 cash. It was the Venezuela shit. That's what was going on. But guess who got hurt? Landlords who still had mortgages on these houses got hurt. So everybody's thinking, we love the government. They're saying we don't have to work and they're going to give us $1,200 and we don't got to pay rent. Oh my God, this is amazing feeling right now. This is amazing. And now look, landlords are like, we had to give up all of our fucking properties. I lost my property because I wasn't getting rent on it. I still had a mortgage due. A lot of people said, well, you can talk to your company to not have mortgage. Yeah, you can, but they're still going to take all that interest that you owe, and they're building that interest up. If you don't pay your mortgage, you still have the loan out. Interest is still accumulating every month. So at the end of that period, whatever interest you accumulated is now your second mortgage now. So if you ever try to refinance, they're going to say, well, you got to catch up all this interest that accumulated during the time that you weren't paying the mortgage. Well, the government told me I had to pay the mortgage. Yeah, the government didn't say you didn't have a loan. They just said you don't have a mortgage. You don't have to pay it. You can pay it. So through the whole pandemic, you think, shit, I paid my mortgage. I wasn't playing no games. I paid because I knew on the back end there was something too tricky. I said, if these people are really thinking you not paying rent and you not paying mortgage is a good thing, they don't understand law. It's legal to continuously bill people for the interest. Even if you're not paying on that loan, the interest is still compounding. And once they put that compounding interest back into your principal amount, guess what? You're compounding interest at an increased rate now because they took that $1,400 and they put it on your $10,000 loan. Now you owe $11,400. They're going to charge you interest on that $11,400 now instead of that $10,000. So now you're up 11. They're going to give you another $1,450 now. So you're up to what? $12,850. You're up $12,850 when you started out at $10,000. So they keep compounding your interest, sticking it into your principal. And that's what people weren't catching. The government was screwing people the whole time, thinking that they were being helped. Yeah, we don't have to go to work. We get free $1,200. I can sit around all day on Facebook. Man. And the landlords are like, how the hell am I going to pay my damn mortgage? You guys aren't paying rent. And then the government came and says, well, you can't even evict nobody now. We know you want people to rent, but you can't even evict nobody. And it's like, I got people that want to pay. No, I tell you what you can do. You can sell your house. We're a company that buys houses. You'll own nothing and be happy. Basically, the premise they were pushing. You'll own nothing and be happy. They were pushing that premise. We want to get you so deep in debt, so upside down in your house that it's going to force you to sell it, and then we own it. And now we can rent it out to the government because the government is bringing over asylum seekers. These asylum seekers are going to need somewhere to live. We just got all you people to give up your properties by saying, okay, we didn't have nobody paying you for it. Now, the government could have paid you for it, just like the government is paying for asylum seekers to be here. The government could have paid for Americans to live in those houses. They could have gave everybody Section 8. They could have gave everybody Section 8 and said, if you don't want to pay rent, cool. We're going to pay the landlord on your behalf, though. They could have did that, but they didn't. They waited till the immigrants got here. Then they said, we'll pay on the immigrants' behalf. You sure the hell didn't pay on the behalf of the Americans. Yeah, we didn't have to. Time to wake up, my brother. Thank you, brother. He says, Jeff, you're one of the most authentic and vital channels on all of YouTube. Can't think of enough, brother. Out here on the front lines, fearless. Hey, time to wake up. You know it, brother. You know it, man. I'll say it like it is because we all see it right in real time, man. This is history. And for everybody that's on this channel, real shit, I tell folks like this is all documented history. I said a lot of things on my Facebook when all that shit was going down in 2020. That's solidified, documented in history. You see the people who was pushing the false narrative on those posts that I was making there. People who push the false narratives is locked in history. We know what was right. Same shit's going down with this channel. We see the people who supporting the right side of history and the people who are pushing narratives to get rid of us. The government could have sat here and gave all of these landlords, these American landlords, money, just like they give them to these luxury hotels for these immigrants, just like they give them to these apartment complexes for these immigrants. They could have did the same thing with American landlords to prevent these American landlords from selling their houses because they couldn't afford the mortgages no more, not getting rent. They could have did that to Americans, but they didn't. They waited until the Americans got rid of the property because they wanted that equity. America wanted that. Hey, we need to have these houses. Well, how can we get these houses? Just make them foreclose on all of them. Make them foreclose. And once we buy them, we move immigrants into them and we say, hey, well, now the immigrants are living there. We're going to actually give money for it to the corporation that owns the house now. So you give money to the corporation that owned the house, but you wouldn't give money to the American that owned that house. So that American had to get that house up. It's a whole game, man. It's a narrative. And we could see that shit. We saw all the way through it. We saw all the way through it. And when we were dropping all the videos about it, people was calling us conspiracy theorists. How is it a conspiracy that we have a lot of American people who used to own, they used to all be landlords and homeowners. Now they might own only one house. Now they might rent. They might even own a house at all no more. But corporations now own blocks of houses now. And the corporations are now getting government Section 8 dollars from the government and allowing immigrants to move in there because, like I said, the immigrants, like that article I put up, it's going to cost a little bit. It's going to cost the government a little bit to get the immigrants here. But they say the revenue outweighs what we're spending. We spend a lot in tax revenues to keep these immigrants here. But guess what? The money they're going to make corporate America and corporate America is going to give us a kickback. Oh, we're going to win. What about the Americans? They're like, fuck the Americans. We're not talking about the Americans right now. The Americans are done. The Americans are done. We got to do something for corporate and the economy of the elites. And a long time ago, see, now it makes sense that Blackstone is buying real estate again. Oh, Blackstone. Yep. Blackstone, BlackRock, all of them. And so when you sit there and we used to say, well, why is it that Americans don't matter to the point where we're allowing people to buy up our property, allowing the Chinese government to buy up our property, allowing corporate America to buy up our property, and we're stuck renting from them. And we have to stay working. See, we got to stay working to pay for it because we're not going to get that government stipend. Some people will get the government stipend, but the reason why they get the government stipend is because they were fed to come here. And they came here and then they have to work for pennies on the dollar. They got to work for the hotel corporations who took a hit during the pandemic. They've got to work for the restaurant industry who took a hit during the pandemic. Since the government created the problem with the pandemic, and they know they created it, no bullshit. Since they created the problem, they're saying we have the solution. What we're going to do is bring in lower paid workers. Well, what about Americans? No, if you hire Americans, they're going to want too much per hour. They're going to want benefits. They're going to work $20 an hour. They're going to want this. They're going to want that. We can just fund and funnel money to get these people here, hire them. Like that lady Angie said, even though it was saying they have 150 days while they're applying for asylum to apply for legal work, she started working the day she got here. Because people already know the police don't care. It's international law. The police don't care. The government don't care. ICE don't care. Immigration don't care. Deportation don't care. Nobody cares right now. Everybody's fighting right now just to make sure we get this country back on the right track. So while we're distracted by bullshit, they're taking over the country. And by they, I mean our government. They are taking over the country. Votes don't even matter no more. It's so bad. It's to the point where they don't even want you to vote. They'll just say, hey, y'all, this is who we're going to run as president. They don't even want you to vote no more. You just sit back and watch TV like you're watching a movie. All these people are actors and you're watching a movie. Zelensky, he's an actor. He even went to theater school. You're watching a movie. Somebody said something about WWE, being an actor. Think of WWE. Think of WWE. All these actors out there acting like they're doing some real shit, but it's not really going on. These are all actors. They put them in position. They make them play a role. And you sit in front of the TV and you're like, wow, get them. Wow. This is what they're doing. You're sitting in front of your TV and you think you're watching something real when it's all simulated. It's all fake shit going on. And they're sitting there saying, hey, we're going to give you this person. Yeah. That's your new character now. That's your new star character of your show. You never voted for this character. You never asked for this character. They put this character in your face and they gave you the whole bio of this character. Strength, 829. Special skills, this and this and this. Has a special move. Can be annihilated with this move and that move. And I'm like, this is all bullshit. Because when you tell the truth about this person and who this person really is, it doesn't fit the bio they just gave you. They just gave you a bio where you would say 1% of the people would vote for you. If they knew the truth about you, 1% would vote for you. So instead of saying, hey, we know a lot of people won't vote for this lady, let's just put her out there and give her a fresh new bio and tell, no, the real bio is, bitch, you were supposed to fucking control the border, but we know you can't control the border. You cannot take ownership of the border because if you do, it negates the whole narrative of them selling immigrants are good for our economy. It would negate that narrative. So we need an actor. We need an actor who can walk in and act the part. Who can act the part? Well, Biden can act the part. He's an idiot. Just give him cue cards. He's a complete idiot. He's brain dead. He's a vegetable. He can clearly act the fucking part. So the people with real power are people you don't even see. That's why they call it deep state. It's people you don't even see. Is you see the surface. This shit goes deeper. Call it deep state. You see the surface. You see who they put in front of you. Here's Biden. Power. 715. Special moves. Eating ice cream. I mean, weird shit. So they put a bio up here for this actor. Weakest people out there. Power 715. Kamala power 822. Trump power 1020. Oh shit, he's too powerful. We can't use him. He'll fuck everything up because he's not willing to play the game. You can't put Trump's bio out there and have people believe it because Trump's going to open his mouth. And once he opens his mouth, you find out what kind of asshole he is. You find out he don't like you. You find out he ain't taking your shit. That's why they can't use Trump. They can't use him. So they have to use somebody who's willing to be an actor. Can you play the part? I can play the part. Trump, can you play the part? Motherfucker, can you play the part? Oh, okay, we can't use Trump. Trump's talking back. He's talking back. We can't use Trump. He ain't playing the part. We got to use somebody who can play the part. Shit's all WWE, man. And they got the World Economic Forum, a bunch of weak ass people, a bunch of nerds, a bunch of, paper leaders. These are paper leaders, not real leaders. You can make a paper leader by just saying, hey, this is your new, this is your new leader right here. You like her? Yeah. She's black. You like her? Yeah. She's Indian. You like her? Do you like? Yeah, I like her. Cool. She's a new leader. Thank you. There was no fucking vote. You don't even have to vote. This is all a stage. The world is a stage, and all these people are just fucking actors. And once you start realizing that you're watching a show, the media, when you go to Google, let's do this. I'm gonna show you some shit real quick. I'm gonna show you some shit. Let's go right here. I'm gonna show you something. Hold up. Let's go to Google. All right. Google. Now I'm gonna let's type in Trump assassination attempt. Let's see what pops up. Here we go. This is all Trump assassination attempts here. And it's from Trump basically blames assassination attempt on Democratic messaging. This is what it is. Now, if you go Trump fist pump images, now they're back. When I typed that in one time, none of this was here because I was trying to use one of these for a thumbnail I made. I did a thumbnail on one of my videos and I needed this picture right here. It didn't show up. So because Elon Musk busted their ass the other day. All these pictures are back now. They had all these pictures banned, man. All this shit was banned. I couldn't find none of them. And I'll tell you the video that I was trying to do a thumbnail on. I'm going to show you the video because I said, I need a new thumbnail. I need a thumbnail. So I went this way. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I was doing. So now that I got you on here, because I had to actually go to Instagram to I had to Photoshop somebody's picture, their profile picture, because none of that shit would pop up. And all I wanted was just a picture of him pumping his fist in front of the flag. That's all I wanted. And I was like, dude, they don't even have it on here. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Wait a minute. I think it was on a live stream. It was on a live. That one right there. The can't stop, won't stop. That's the one I wanted. That can't stop, won't stop picture. I wanted that picture right there. But they wouldn't give me the image. They wouldn't give me the image in Google. I had to go find it. That's why it looks like that and not like the ones you see in Google. Because in Google, they wouldn't give me, let me see, Trump fist pump. Trump fist pump right here. Oh, travelers log in. Nope. I don't want to log into my insurance. Hold up. Trump fist pump. This right here. And now you can see them all. I had to go to Instagram and find that picture. Otherwise, I would have used one of these whole images. Because the way mine looked is so small, because it was somebody's profile pic of just like him right here. I couldn't get the flag and everything in like I wanted. So Google got called out by Elon Musk. And when Google called Elon Musk out, what happened? They put everything back now. Man, you got to get a VPN. You can find anything. I know it. I should go to like the VPN, DuckDuckGo, all this crazy shit. People tell me that all the time. It's like, man. It's like, man, I'm telling you, it's got to be a way to do it. I got to be a way to do it. Say nothing go wrong with the cat holding up the dollar as the thumbnail to your video. I know it, because that's how we feel. Everybody like, yeah, fucking cat holding up a dollar. But yeah, and I was looking for that picture, and Elon was like, ain't it kind of funny? And they did a whole video on it of everybody kind of look for Trump stuff, and every time they would type it in, all the Kamala Harris stuff would pop up. They did a whole video about it. And everybody was like, oh, shit. And when they got busted, I guarantee somebody at Google, somebody at corporate headquarters was like, y'all about to get us fucking hit for censorship. You're about to get us hit for censorship. And there's another video about censorship that I watched the other day. And these people, man, why is my computer doing that? My computer's kind of moving a little slow today. I've had it running for a couple of days now. I'm going to show you guys what they said about censorship. And this is good. This is good. Hold up for a second. Where is it? Oh, wait a minute. First I'm going to show y'all this. I'm going to show y'all this right here. Oh, wait a minute. This right here is why. This right here will help. This video right here will help you sell private rides to the airport. This video is going to help you sell private rides to the airport. You're going to love this. Listen to this right here. Listen to this.
All around SeaTac Airport, there are businesses that serve people on the go. Park and fly lots and stay and fly deals at hotels offer parking prices lower than the nearly $40 a day charged at the airport's garage.
Listen to this.
Hi there, you Carol?
Yes.
But you could end up paying more, like Carol Olson, seen in police body cam footage from December.
Kind of makes you second guess yourself, because I'm like, I know I parked it
right.
She returned to an empty parking spot several days after leaving her truck in this hotel lot for a flight to California.
Took the grandkids to Disneyland.
Oh my gosh.
Her truck was one of hundreds of vehicles stolen or prowled on the 2-mile strip outside the airport around International Boulevard.
See, so that's what I'm telling people. You guys can easily get people to the airport. Because a lot of people's like, well, I'm just going to park at the airport. They think it's going to be cheap. They think it's going to be so cheap to get to the airport. I'm just going to go to the airport. It's going to be real cheap. Come back, their car is gone. This shit right here is crazy. Listen, just keep listening. This is crazy.
King County Sheriff's data show 474 such incidents in the last year alone at SeaTac Park and Fly and hotel lots.
What time did he notice the vehicle? About 7:45. Okay.
It turned out criminals swiped Carol's truck used it for crimes like mail theft, and dumped it even before she flew home and reported it stolen.
Busted out window.
Just
Damn.
drilled out just this part right here.
Nearly $15,000 in repairs later,
This whole thing was damaged.
she's upset to learn she's among hundreds of victims.
Something needs to be done. That's a huge number, in my opinion.
See, $15,000 in damage, 15 grand in damage, because she probably didn't want to pay a private driver $75 to get to the hotel. I ain't paying no $75. I'm just gonna go park my car at the airport. I'm not paying you no $75. Now she's got 15 grand worth of damage. When we say we're doing this to save our community, they don't understand there are levels to this game, levels to it. Not only are we going to save you money and keep money circulating in our community, but we trying to make sure you leave your car at home where you know it's safe, where your neighbors can watch it, where people you know can watch it. Leave your car at home. Don't think, oh man, they want $75, take me to the airport. Trust me. You drop your car off there, you come back, some shit stolen, the wheel stolen, something. You're going to wish you paid $75 because this lady got hit with $15,000 repair bill, probably because she didn't want to pay $75.
Using public records, including hundreds of police reports, the King 5 investigators identified the SeaTac businesses with the top numbers of thefts and prowls last year. At number 3, the SeaTac Doubletree had 45 vehicle crimes reported, including 24 cars stolen. This Ramada Inn on International Boulevard saw 58 vehicle crimes, including 21 cars stolen. And topping the list, the SeaTac Marriott, with 94 reported vehicle crimes, including 27 cars driven off the lot.
The one security guard said that this happens all the time. This is like a every other night occurrence.
Piper Log was surprised when her truck was stolen from the Marriott's lot. She saw cameras, a security patrol, and gates.
Because I was like, hey, you have to have a ticket to get in and you have to have a ticket to get out.
She was told car thieves often tailgate behind a paying car to get through those gates.
Watch this.
We go to leave and
Watch
they
this.
said that they needed to charge me for parking.
They charged her
Like,
for parking
really?
after her car got stolen.
off of your parking lot, and I got charged for parking.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then they went in there, and just because they couldn't get it, they screwed it all up in there.
So is your truck that was stolen? My car, yeah. So we don't know how long the car's been gone.
That's crazy.
Cars stolen or prowled at the Marriott. It is a routine call for SeaTac police.
This back lot gets hit every other night. Yeah, it happens. It's been happening a lot.
So that's what I wanted to show y'all, some of that right there. For them to sit there and to know that these cars are being stolen every night. People are getting hit every night. You got catalytic converters, you got wheels, you got stereos, you got speakers, you got adapters like plugs. People selling parts on eBay. You go on eBay, you see a ton of parts on there. And these parts are coming off of other cars. They're not brand new parts. They're like, oh yeah, wiring harness for such and such. Somebody just went and just cut the wires and said, hey, this is a new wiring harness adapter. This is how they're making money. When you park your car at the airport and you go take a trip and you come back, if you don't find your car, I guarantee it's already been parted out. A lot of parts have come off these cars already, and it's probably on eBay. You go on eBay, be like, oh man, all these parts look like they got posted in the same time frame that my car got stolen. New headlights. Headlights from a dealership run about $2,000. These people steal it, take your headlights off, sell your headlights $400, $500. It's free to them, so it's all profit. It's free. You be like, damn, a $400 headlight. Shit, I'll get that $400 headlight. It's stolen off somebody's car. That's what they can do it for $400. Yeah, man, it's always been legal for the elite, and this is how they make a killing on people, man. And every time I try to do something, I try to tell people, pay attention to community, pay attention to what's going on, because a lot of people don't pay attention, man. They don't. I'm trying to find this one video where was that at? And it was talking about how the government right now is censoring people and how it's censoring everybody. I know it's gonna be in here. I just watched that video the other day, and it was about censorship. Oh, I probably went right past it already. But yeah, when you hear how they're actually censoring things during this election, they're not letting certain people talk about what we're discussing like live right here on the video. We'll discuss it, but they'll censor this video based on keywords. They'll censor it based on whether or not it's for Kamala or against Kamala, and they won't allow it to be played because they're trying to sell this narrative. If they can sell the narrative, then they're good. Another Chevron announces to leave California just to move to Texas. That's another one. California is a dumpster fire. Kevin O'Leary, I watched that the other day. Where in the hell is this at? Where in the hell is this at? Oh, wait a minute. I think this is her speaking. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me find. I had another one. No, it's not that one. Y'all gonna love this. It was some. Oh, this is it right here. This is it right here. Hold up. This is talking about. Let me see if it's on there. This is talking about how they are censoring everything.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for appearing before us here today.
This lady she's a beast.
I've heard your last name pronounced a couple of different ways today. How is it properly pronounced?
Seligman. Thank you very much.
Seligman?
Seligman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Seligman. You stated you are an expert in constitutional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. In your testimony, your written testimony, which was provided to us late last night,
this lady's good.
It says that, quote, this is your writing, no government official ever threatened any social media platform with adverse action if a platform declined to moderate content flagged by the official or if a platform decided not to take an official's suggestions. Do you stand by your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Now, a few minutes ago, just prior, you said that members of the legislative branch don't qualify for this particular statement, despite the fact that you said no government official ever. Does a representative in Congress constitute a government official?
Well, let me clarify.
Hear the lies. Hear the lies.
From earlier. I don't think that legislative proposals that were brought by Republicans or Democrats constitute threats against social media platforms. That's true whether with respect to Section 230 reform. It's true with respect to antitrust enforcement.
So that would then lead us to the natural inclination to believe that you're talking about the executive branch, correct? Being government officials. So government officials like the deputy assistant to the president and director of digital strategy like Robert Flattery, or the White House senior advisor like Andrew Slavitt, or the NSC staffer Katie Colas, or the deputy assistant to the president, or the White House digital director, or the press secretary for the first lady, or the NSC Director for Counterterrorism, the Chief of Staff for the Office of Digital Strategy, the Director of Strategic Communication and Engagement, the White House Associate Counsel, Associate Director for Communications, the Deputy Director of Digital Strategy, and the Strategic Director of Digital Communications. Those are government officials, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what's so interesting is that all of these members of the executive branch, all of them have communications, thousands of emails between them and Twitter and Meta officials where they demand that posts be taken down and censored. I'll give you a couple of
okay, understand what this lady just said. He said this guy, like I said, he's a liar. He says that officials do not engage with social media platforms, telling social media platforms to censor themselves. This is what he just said. He said no government officials does it. And then he says, well, executive branch should. And she went down a list of everybody who actually have social media type titles. They all have social involved in our government. They have social media type titles with digital marketing and everything. And they are actually contacting social media places. Hey, thank you, Jason E. Cab. Only $2 in that $3 US. Great job. Thank you. And then they're going and contacting Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all these places, and telling these places not to post certain content. The government is telling them not to post, not whether or not it allows us to have a discussion or not. It's not saying, hey, these people are discussing this and that. No, he's saying, don't allow them to post this. We don't want them to have a discussion about this. We want the narrative to stick. I like this lady. I like her. So let me let her play.
Of examples, and then we'll see if you still feel so strongly about your words. January 23rd, 3 days after the inauguration, at 1:04 a.m., Clark Humphrey of the White House emails Twitter and says, we're flagging this post for you. Hey, folks, wanted to flag this tweet, wondering if we can get moving on the process to have it taken down, ... ASAP. Then,
Censorship.
on February 7th, an email
Censorship.
exchange took place between Twitter and White House Deputy Assistant to the President and Director of Digital Strategy, Rob Flattery, and asked for the steps that he could take to, quote, streamline the process for the White House's demands for Twitter censorship. Then 2 days later, on February 9th, 2021,
I'm going to stop it real quick. Understand what's going on. Our government, we have a U.S. Constitution, a United States Constitution that gives us the free speech. First Amendment is free speech. Free speech. Yet our government right now, the current administration, is abating free speech by contacting social media companies saying, you need to ban this post. It doesn't allow me as Jeff to post in what I want to post because we have a government overlooking us saying, hey, we're flagging all these posts for violation of, whatever, but we still have free speech. So why can't I make this post? Well, because it's a post that we don't like. You're the government. You have to abide by the Constitution as the government. If the people are to abide by the Constitution as citizens, you can't abate that and say, well, since we're in power, we don't have to abide by the law. We're in power. We can contact Twitter and say, hey, take this post down. Understand what this lady is saying. We have a government right now who is saying America's Constitution doesn't exist as long as they're in power.
he follows up again with Facebook with a more aggressive demand for more information, along with an accusation that would be repeated many times in the future, that Facebook was failing to censor speech on its platform, and it was causing, quote, political violence. Fast forward, you have March 15th, White House senior advisor then made an ominous statement threatening unspecified executive action against Facebook in retaliation for Facebook's perceived lack of cooperation with the White House's list of demands that have been documented and will be inserted into the record for this hearing on censorship of, quote, borderline content. The line that I think is particularly troubling is saying, internally, we have been considering our options on what to do about it. Do you consider that to be non-threatening?
I'm not familiar.
So basically, the government is contacting Facebook and all these places saying, if you don't do what we say, we're considering our options as a government on what we could do about you. This is threat. They're strong arming social media companies. They strong arm them. If you don't do what we ask you to do, we need to consider our options on what we need to do with you. This is how crazy that is. The government is admitting they're threatening and strong arming social media companies in email, in writing. If you don't do what we ask you to do, we need to consider what should we be doing about you. We need options of what we gonna do about you. And this guy, he's a bold-faced liar. He's a weasel. The next guy after him is amazing. This guy's a weasel.
Familiar with the particular documents that you're referring to?
I just read you multiple examples.
Yes, and so I don't think that emphatic expressions of their concerns about the problem of misinformation is a threat. I don't.
So when President Biden's...
But he's saying it's a problem with the misinformation. But once you deem information as misinformation, you need proof that it's misinformation. We were fed misinformation for over 2 years. One shot, and that's all it's going to take. And we're going to flatten the curve and we'll be done and we'll be back out. Okay, now you need 12 goddamn boosters now. We were fed misinformation for years. The people who were making the recommendation to claim something as misinformation are actually the ones giving the misinformation. That's what people need to have conversation about. That's why they want to push a narrative and outline anything that questions their narrative. If you question their narrative, they want to flag it as a post that's misinformation. What? So he can say, well, we can't question some. This is what he just said. He said, we can't question something, but he tells the American people, you guys can't question nothing. So who are you, weasel, to say that you can question something, but me as a 50-year-old man can't question something like you're my dad or some shit? Jeff, I can question it, but you can't.
Expressions of their particular documents that you're referring to.
I just read you multiple examples.
Yes, and so I don't think that emphatic expressions of their concerns about the problem of misinformation is a threat. I don't.
So when President Biden says that social media companies are killing people. And then there is a direct line from the White House to the social media companies demanding posts be removed, going so far as to say there has to be a quick and devastating takedown, a published takedown. That is not a threat?
I don't believe so.
Wow.
I also don't believe it
Wow.
was a threat when President.
She did the same thing I did when dude said, I ain't hit your car. I was like, wow. She did the same shit I did. I got it on video. When the dude said, I ain't hit your car, I was like, wow. Because sometimes you cannot believe the stupidity at what is told to you right to your face. I'm going to play it again because you cannot believe the stupidity that's told right to your face. This lady, she's on it.
Social media companies are killing people. And then there is a direct line from the White House to the social media companies demanding posts be removed, going so far as to say there has to be a quick and devastating takedown, a published takedown. That is not a threat?
I don't believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. This dude said, I don't believe so. So you're basically saying everything this lady said is factually proven in writing, and he says, I don't think so. That's like me handing you an orange, and you say, well, this is an apple. It's clearly an orange. I just put it in your hand. It's an orange. This dude, he is such a weasel. He is such a liar, man.
I also don't believe it was a threat when President Trump made comments about
I am
social
so glad
media
we have this on the record.
Yeah,
Again, my apologies to you, sir, for what you've had to endure here today. But with that, I yield back.
Yeah, she's done with him.
Thank you,
She's done.
ladies.
She's
Time's
done.
expired.
She's
Chair
like, I'm not
recognizes
dealing with
Mrs.
this
Hageman,
guy.
Wyoming, for 5 minutes.
No.
Thank you. Mr. Sauer, you and your colleagues have truly provided a great service to this nation by exposing what we can rightfully describe as the surveillance industrial complex, censorship industrial complex, the corruption industrial complex. Take your pick. Your testimony today is stunning, as is your written statement, and I encourage everyone to read the information that you have provided. The breadth and scope of this vast censorship complex is stunning and extends from the halls of Congress.
This is important
to the
right here,
executive
man.
branch
This stuff's
to the office
important
of the President of the United States.
because it's going on right now.
One of the last questioners today, I want to give you the opportunity.
And the reason why I watched this video and I wanted to show this video on this live stream, because this is going on right now. The fact that I just went and I typed in Trump fist pump and all the Trump fist pumps came up is because Elon Musk and everybody called it out the other day. They did not want the Trump fist pump to publicly be available for anybody around the world to view. They didn't want that to be available. They took it completely out of the algorithm. When I was typing in Trump fist pump, it was a bunch of Kamala Harris shit was popping up and all that. And I wanted to show that. Luckily we got it on, like that lady said, luckily we have this on video. Luckily the video was created showing everybody typing in Trump stuff and nothing Trump would pop up, all Kamala. It was a forced narrative. It was complete censorship of them censoring Trump just pumping his fists saying fight, fight, fight. That's what he was doing. And they didn't want nobody in the world to see that. So they took it. They took all of that off social media, all of it off the internet, out of Google search engines. And these people on the committee are saying, we see the narrative being sold. We see the power you guys have as a government to control the narrative, social media, to control what people see, to control what people talk about. We see what you're doing as a democratic government doing this to people. You're not allowing democracy. You're not allowing people to have a choice to look at something to go whether or not I want to believe it or not. I see a lot of shit on the internet, but I'm 50 years old and I know what's bullshit and what's not, but I at least have a right to see it. Let me at least see it. That's what this lady is talking about right now with the next guy.
Opportunity to speak directly to the American public. And I'd like you to give us examples of just one or two takeaways that you believe are paramount as we continue our work and as we seek to hold this administration and these corrupt government hacks accountable for their blatant violation of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution.
He forgot to turn his microphone on, that's all.
I would emphasize maybe 2 or 3 points. First, federal censorship activities are not in retreat. They are expanding. Federal executive officials are expanding the topics on which they seek censorship. It's expanding to more and more agencies, and it's expanding to any social media platform they can reach to. So we are not in a situation where this is something that occurred in the past. We have overwhelming evidence that it's growing and growing and growing, and there's little indication that there will ever be any voluntary relinquishment of the power to dictate what ordinary Americans can say on social media. So it's a problem that is growing. It's a looming threat. A second point that I would make is that censorship, as I said in my opening statement, both now and every other time when there's been censorship throughout human history, is not about truth. It is about political power. It's about obtaining power. It's about preserving power. And it's about expanding power. And the evidence of this, again, is overwhelming. You see it right there in the documents, some of which were just quoted. You see the White House saying, what we really want you to take down, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth, is borderline content.
Let me go back. Guys, you got to listen to what he's saying. I know I stopped it, but you're going to hear it again. Listen to where he starts and what he's saying about the current regime that we have in American government, who are attacking the First Amendment of all American people by saying we don't have a right to post what we want to post, which is the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Even when you type something, that's considered speech. They're trying to say that we don't have a right to the freedom of speech if they deem that speech something that they don't like. It's a forced narrative. Just like when they say, we know Kamala's going to get 1% of the vote. So what we'll do is force everybody to vote for her by making her the only candidate. Biden started that shit with saying, we only want a black VP. So I don't want anybody to even run for the job unless you're a black woman. If you're not a black woman, don't even apply. We have had a government for the past 4 years that have been trying the American public on forcing narratives on us to the point where now it's that we have to have congressional hearings about being able to type what I want to type. I might type Trump is the shit. And Google can say, you know what? We're not going to put that into the algorithm. Facebook can say, we're going to block that and ban that because the American government doesn't want that. The current government right now, listen to what this guy is saying. Hold up. Here we go.
As I said in my opening statement, both now and every other time when there's been censorship throughout human history, is not about truth. It is about political power. It's about obtaining power. It's about preserving power. And it's about expanding power. And the evidence of this, again, is overwhelming. You see it right there in the documents, some of which were just quoted. You see the White House saying, what we really want you to take down, Facebook, Twitter, and so forth, is borderline content. Borderline content that's described in the emails is often true. It's often true. It involves core political speech. We want you to take that down because that is what is most effectively undermining the narratives that we want to be out there on social media.
Bam, stop that. Did we not just say that? I'm telling you, I love this dude. I don't know who he is. My first time ever seeing him was on this video. But when we got people fighting for America, they're using their positions. They're talking to Congress. They're talking in hearings. They are fighting for America. We have to get their words out. These are our true leaders. These are our true leaders. People who are speaking for us, standing up for us. These are our true leaders. When they say something and you resonate with it and you know it's true because you see it every day, these are our true leaders. These people are not pawns. They're not being told what to say on index cards and shit like that. This dude is speaking from his heart. This is a true leader right here. Let me play back what he was saying. Let me start. Man, I love this guy. I don't know who he is.
Twitter and so forth is borderline content. Borderline content that's described in the emails is often true. It's often true. It involves core political speech. We want you to take that down because that is what is most effectively undermining the narratives that we want to be out there on social media.
They want to put narratives.
That's an egregious violation of the First Amendment. It is viewpoint discrimination. I would also point out that many of the comments that have been made on the other side today have said we can't let there be misinformation on social media because a tiny minority of the 100 million people who might see it might take it and do something bad. You might call that the minority report approach to the First Amendment. It's absolute poppycock. It turns the First Amendment absolutely on its head. The promise of the First Amendment is that no official, high or petty, will be able to dictate what Americans do. Americans can make their own opinions. They are adults. They can read the evidence. They can form their own factual opinions and their own opinions. And that is the core and the heartland of the First Amendment, which we see radically perverted in the communications between the White House and virtually every other federal agency that's discussed in my extensive written testimony. I would also emphasize censorship does not make Americans safer. It does not make them healthier. And it does not protect our democracy. Censorship is what kills, not freedom. Freedom is what preserves our liberty. Freedom is what makes us safe and healthy as a society. So this notion that we've got to have censorship because it's going to be a threat to our democracy, what could be more anti-democratic than federal censorship dictating what ordinary Americans can say on social media? The First Amendment in social media radically democratized speech. The First Amendment is the most pro-democratic political statement in history, perhaps, because what it says is every ordinary citizen can decide for themselves without interference from federal officials as to what their opinion is. And we can participate in a free market ideas with freedom of expression, freedom of association to engage in that. And that's what we see under direct assault by a whole army of federal officials in this case. And finally, I would emphasize that this should not be a partisan issue. Censorship violates the First Amendment no matter what viewpoint federal officials are going after. Everyone in this chamber should oppose the sorts of pressure, collusion, deception, all the things you see in our evidence in this case. Federal officials should not be in the business of saying what Americans can and cannot say on social media. And those are the conclusions that I would offer the American people.
Well, and again,
there, man, like I said, I don't know who this dude is. I don't know who this dude is. Thank you, Johnny Cab. Man, I don't know who that dude is. I'm going to make sure I put the link to that whole video in the description of this live stream. He's the truth, man. He's the truth. Like I said, this dude, man, I'm one of those guys that be like, if I'm going to sit and I'm going to listen to something, I want to listen to, stop screen sharing. There we go. I'm going to listen to something that's true, something that I can resonate with, something that's honest. Everything that dude said, you can't deny it. You cannot deny it. We know that we're adults. We are educated adults. We all went to college. We all got children. We all rationale and we make logic. Even when I speak about Uber and Lyft, I have a right to say exactly what I want to say about Uber and Lyft. Uber cannot censor me. Lyft cannot censor me. They can't contact YouTube and say, hey, this is Uber. Can you do me a favor and take Jeff's down? Because Jeff said he hates driving Uber because YouTube has to say, well, he has a right to say that. He's got First Amendment protection. The moment they start violating your First Amendment protections, you have a right in federal court to sue these places. You can come up with your own ideas. You can come up with your own, whatever you want to say, your own opinions. This channel has always stood on truth. I've always flown that flag. Since I got that flag from my man Steve, when he made that, I had it in the garage and everything like that. I've always put that behind me. Because it's what I stand for. It's what I believe in. When I'm speaking on this microphone, when I'm talking on these videos, I'm reminding everybody I'm only saying what I want to say because that flag exists. Because there's people who died for that flag. They died for the principles that that flag stands for. There's people on this planet that do that. Then you got Democrats in office right now who say that flag don't matter. They don't want the flag to fly at federal parks. They saying take it down. It's offensive. Take the American flag down. It's offensive. They saying, hey, we don't want you guys to vote. We'll give you a candidate. Don't vote. We'll give you who we think you need because we can push and promote the narrative on this lady because she don't know shit. This lady don't know shit. She don't know her ass from a hole in the wall. So we can easily put her up and say, hey, y'all, if y'all just vote for her, we're going to pretend she's elected and we're going to have deep state. We're showing you the surface. She's a surface level thinker. Deep state's running everything. This is why I think in politics, it's more about life than it is about party. If you don't discuss politics, you're not talking about life. I don't give a fuck about no bullshit. BF Goodrich is better than Firestone. Firestone's better than Goodyear. Who gives a shit? Just choose a tire and drive. I don't give a shit. A lot of channels out there. Oh yeah, I'd rather have this and that. I don't give a shit. Let's talk about something that really matters. Let's talk about things that make this country move forward, that make our money move. That's what we're talking about. What can we say to make our money move? And there's not enough channels out there because you're going to hear a lot of channels out there. You're going to hear them. I wouldn't talk about that if I was you. I wouldn't put that on a channel. It was supposed to be Rideshare. This ain't Rideshare channel. This is an American channel with an American dude with American people. A lot of immigrants and people like that watching my shit too. You don't tell me, well, you're Rideshare, so you should only be talking. No, you should shut the fuck up and get off my channel. This is an American channel. It's a free speech channel. I choose to talk about Rideshare when I feel like it. If I don't feel like it, then I won't. I might talk about puppies today. I might talk about damn timing chains and camshafts today. I'll talk about what I feel like talking about. So for people that jump through, like somebody said in my comments this morning, when does channel go from Rideshare to politics? I said, you must be new. If you look on my channel from 2020, all I had was politics on my shit in 2020. You must be new. You brought your ragged ass around here thinking this was rideshare. Motherfucker, I've been talking politics in 2020. How does go from rideshare to politics? Motherfucker, you must be new. Take your new booty ass and sit down somewhere. Motherfucker, I've been talking 4 years on this channel. I've been talking politics. You just ain't paid attention or you knew. Get your ass away from me with that. And that's how this channel has always been. Politics is life because politics is policy. Policy can become law one day. So if you're not sure about who you got running your country, who you got up there, is it Puppies 2024? If you ain't sure of who you got running your country, you might end up with a life full of laws and policies that's fucking your life up. Because I ain't getting political. I don't talk politics. Shit, I do. Because I talk about life. And life is controlled by the people you have running your government, whether it's local government, state government, federal government. Your life is controlled by those people. So if we want people who represent us and how we want to live our lives, we need to put the right people in place to keep America as America. I don't want America to become another fucking country. People might come here and want America to look like their country. I don't want that. You want to come here? You want this shit to look like, you want the whole America to look like your country? Go back to your fucking country. That's what you can do. Why show up? Why would I show up at your house and repaint your house? Take your couches and shit out and bring in some leather 1975 fucking couches. Put some beads in the door. Why? If I want that house, then I should make that shit my house. Why do I need to come to your house and do that? You don't show up at somebody else's house and just start repainting shit and changing shit to make it look like your house. Take your ass home if you want to be at home. Don't bring that shit over here. If somebody came to my house, Jeff, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Not to my house, you not. Well, this is how I want to look. I ain't asked you how you want to look, motherfucker. I invited you over for dinner. You came over for dinner. Now I done walked in, took my table out, brought a new table in, painted my whole fucking kitchen over. Like, I didn't ask for all that. If you want my house to look like yours, and you take your ass home. It's that simple. And it's easier like that. Go to where you feel most comfortable. And if you don't want to sit around and be like, man, I'm not comfortable here, America's a little different, then go somewhere else. Because we've been building this place for a long time. A lot of Jesus, I found you, Miss New Booty. I know, for real. Motherfuckers come on my channel, they thinking this shit's brand new around here. They thinking, oh, he just a average fucking shit talking YouTube. Man, I'll rip you a new asshole on my channel. I will. Because I got free speech. That flag, YouTube don't tell me what to say. All the shit I say, I don't even say it with a script. This is free speech. Coming from the heart, coming from the mind, all free speech. So I don't got to sit there and play no game. Let me write something down to make sure that YouTube allows me to. I'm a huge candidate. I've always talked about First Amendment on this channel, always. And First Amendment is political. It's politics. First Amendment is about government. It's about Constitution. So when I speak about it, I'm talking politics. Some people don't even realize I'm talking politics when I say First Amendment. They think, oh, yeah, well, he's just talking about free speech. That deals with politics. I mean, free speech ain't got shit to do with rideshare. Free speech ain't for me to be able to accept or decline a ride. That's not free speech. That's just accepting or declining a ride on the app. But if I want to have a conversation with people in my car, hey, man, how much you pay for this? That's me, free speech. I can ask them how much they paid for this. I could tell them how much I got for it. Lyft and Uber was like, you can't ask that. And they were sending people email messages. If a driver asks you how much is this transaction, whatever, please let us know. Report to us. I'm like, yeah, report to him. Tell him I said it. And tell him my name is Jeff Watts. Like, tell him my whole fucking name. Say, Jeff Watts asked me how much I paid for this trip when he told me how much he got paid for. His name is Jeff Watts. When Uber and Lyft contact me, I say, motherfucker, if you want to get rid of me, as if I violated the TOS, your TOS violates the Constitution. And your TOS is always in violation of the Constitution, which is why your ass keep getting sued for restitution while you keep getting sued in court and having to settle. Your TOS is a violation of the Constitution. I was born under the Constitution of the United States. I wasn't born under the terms of service of fucking Uber and Lyft. You are not a part of government. If you don't abide by the government, which has already laws on the books, I don't fuck with you like that. So when I speak, I'm speaking under constitutional law. There are drivers out there. What do they say? Oh, I carry when I drive. Uber and Lyft can say, well, that's against our terms of service. Well, you should tell your people who are pepper spraying us in the fucking face while we drive what your terms of service is. Because if you think deactivating somebody is going to keep us from getting pepper sprayed and we already been fucking pepper sprayed, that means your terms of service don't really do shit. Because dude wouldn't be pepper sprayed in the face. What if that was somebody pepper spraying him, taking his car, taking his wallet, taking it, because he said, I thought I was getting carjacked. What if that dude was carrying? You see two dead girls in the back seat and you think an immigrant just killed two girls. An immigrant just killed two girls, two blonde hair, blue eyes American girls. An immigrant just killed them. Oh man, no. We know what it was about. We be like, they just pepper sprayed this man in the fucking face because you're not vetting people right. If you would have vetted these customers right, knowing this lady was a psychotic by looking at her motherfucking, Facebook page or seeing she's already doing mental health shit and crazy shit on her, she was bound to pepper spray somebody in the fucking face. You lucky. She didn't pepper spray somebody in the face who carries. You're lucky she didn't pepper spray somebody that carries. She's lucky she didn't pepper spray somebody that carries because the Second Amendment still exists. Uber right now will be dealing with somebody's family attorneys. Why did that driver have a firearm? Under terms of service, he can't have a firearm. Under terms of service, she's going to pepper spray him in the fucking face. Under terms of service. But shit happens. People have a right to take care of themselves because of Second Amendment. Second Amendment. Yeah, it's Americans versus the goblins this November. It's America versus the goblins. I know it for real. I'm telling you, Larry, man. And we have a right in this country to live by the Constitution that was already set in this country. We have that right. When you're born as an American, that right is automatically ingrained into your DNA. You have a right to speech. You got a right to protect yourself. You got a right. All these rights are already written. Now, we even got a right to vote. But now, like I said, we got Democrats who are trouncing all on the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about it. And they're having all these congressional hearings about the Democrats who are controlling social media by going around the U.S. Constitution, around the First Amendment. We've got them censoring people from having open discussion. We got them making sure the algorithm keeps things out. When you search for something, it never shows up. Instead, they put the narrative out there up front. This is why they're having congressional hearings. They ain't having congressional hearings because they ain't got shit else to do today, man. What you want to do today? Let's have a First Amendment speech. No, because people are noticing this government we have in office right now doing a bunch of shady shit. People are noticing and they're standing up for. Even people in government are standing up against it, saying, you know what? Something's wrong with this. This is not why laws were written. The shit y'all pulling it because y'all in power. That's why y'all doing it. Y'all in power. And y'all think because y'all in power, you can go around the Constitution and just do whatever you want to do. And they threaten people. Oh, if you vote for Trump, he's going to be a dictator. What's a dictator do? A dictator bounces around Constitution. What have the Democrats been doing? Bouncing around the Constitution to the point where Congress is now having hearings about them bouncing around the Constitution, but yet they're going to threat. If you vote for Trump, he's going to be a dictator. As they're being a dictator. I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life. That's like me punching you in the face and saying, oh, he's going to punch you in the face. Motherfucker, you just punched me. But he's going to punch you in the face. But you just punched me, though. Yeah, but he's going to punch you in the face. This is how you going to threaten that somebody's a dictator? Hey, thank you, Tom. You're going to threaten somebody's going to be a dictator while you doing dictator shit. I mean, if you're going to abide by law and say we abide by law and we do shit by law, then you don't do shit by law. Don't tell me what the next person's going to do. I'm talking about what you're doing right now as you saying it. I'm like, we already know. Like I said, I speak a lot about how this whole presidential candidate, because it was lies. The doctors lied. The people around Biden lied. Biden himself lied. Everybody lied, saying he was fit. He was fit to run for office. The reason why they said that is because the corporations who have benefited by the current regime's policies are donating to the campaign. They didn't donate to Biden. Biden's a fucking airhead. He's a vegetable walking around. He's a vegetable. They weren't donating to Biden. They were giving money to a regime that allowed them to make corporate profits, a regime that allowed them to have certain powers. That's what they were donating to a regime, not to Biden. He's a fucking airhead. So they were like, wait a minute. So you lied to keep money pouring in, saying Trump's not going to win. Keep giving us your money. We're going to make sure Trump don't win. Keep giving us your money because we're going to do all these things when Trump don't win. How can you be sure Trump's not going to win? I mean, he's got a lot of people standing, even black people standing behind him now. Well, we're going to probably try to kill him sooner or later. I mean, we're going to have to kill him somehow. He's going to be assassinated. I mean, we're going to make sure he don't win. We're going to make sure shit's going to happen to where all the money you're giving us is going to be used right. So they keep giving money. Lying. Biden's going to run. Once they knew Biden didn't stand a chance after that debate, they said, Biden don't stand a fucking chance. If Biden slow ass wins against what we just saw, if he wins against what we just saw, the Americans will know this shit was rigged. They will know it was fucking rigged. 100% it was rigged. So what do? Well, we're going to try to kill him. Tried, failed. Okay, what are we going to do now? Well, we can put up something how he can't fight. I mean, we already know. You put him against a black woman, he don't stand a chance. Let's do Kamala Harris then. Yeah, but Americans only voted 1% of the Democrats who even voted that year. 1% of the Democrats who even voted, not 1% of America, 1% of the Democrats that even voted, and that gave her 1%. That's 99% of the people looking at her like, nah, that's almost everybody. If 99% of the people out there saying no to you, that's almost everybody. How did it go from 99% of the people saying no to you to 99% of the people saying yes to you now? How in the fuck does that work? And you ain't done shit. You ain't done shit. It's democratic powers. It's deep state. This is what it is. It's deep state. The apps are middlemen. Capitalism at its worst. They don't do any labor, yet they steal 60% of the table. This is pure wage step and slavery. Real shit. But deep state is making sure all the money they're getting goes into exactly what we said. Oh, we told you we're going to use that money for this. We just put Kamala up against him. Trump don't stand a chance against a black woman. This white dude that everybody think is racist, he say something negative about a black woman. Oh, black women, they going to come out the woodwork. Black women going to be pissed. They going to come out the woodwork. This white man that we call racist, we got to keep putting out he racist. Keep putting out he racist. Keep putting out he's against women. The moment he opened his mouth, we could just say, hey, he racist and against women. He just said that. He just said that. Women go, and what happened? Black women was like, yeah, we side with Trump. We fuck with Trump. They were like, oh shit, we're up shit creek. National Association of Black Journalists. 3 black women on stage. Harris, she's at Fox. I watch her all the time. 3 black women on stage. 2 of them tried to try Trump. They tried him. Media ate these 2 ladies up. They was like, we see what y'all doing. Y'all came in with some racist shit. Came in with some sexist shit. That was your very first statement you made to this man. You racist. You sexist. That was just like Trump said, they didn't even say hello to me. They didn't say, hello, sir. How are you doing? They didn't even say that. He called it out, right? He called that shit out in real time. They didn't even say hi to me. They ain't shake my welcome to the fucking barbecue. They ain't say shit. Oh, hey, you motherfucker, you racist. You don't like women. You hate everything. That wasn't a question. They were trying to set the fucking tone for that whole thing. They tried to set the tone. What did Trump do? Trump said, let me tell you something, you nasty motherfucker. He started out as a nasty ass question, you nasty mother. He started that shit. He said, hey, you ain't gonna walk up on me like that. I'm still who I am. I'm at the barbecue, motherfucker, but I am who I am. Shut that whole shit down. Every black podcaster out there was like, man, Trump handed them their ass. Every black podcaster I saw, Trump handed them their ass. Because we saw what they were doing. They want Kamala, who got 1% of the vote, 99% hell knows, 99% hell knows, running against a man that the country wants to run it. 99% hell knows. So what do? They throw the hell no lady. Oh, we need to get her. Every time somebody search for Trump, throw something for Kamala up there. If you search for Trump, what's that shit? Throw something for Kamala up there. Elon Musk called that shit out. Elon Musk was like, why is it that whenever we go search for Trump shit, all Kamala shit pop up? Congress was like, we see what's going on. What's going on? Is the White House involved in this? Is the White House contacting big tech? No, we ain't got shit to do with that. We don't know what you're talking about. I got some emails for you. After she went down all those emails, his tone changed real quick. It went from we ain't got nothing to do with that to, well, we feel that, if it's dangerous, we should have a right to. And what did they say? Trump's dangerous. Trump's anti-democracy. Trump's against, a vote for Trump is a vote against democracy. Yet these people have not been democratic yet. They gave you a candidate. You didn't vote for a candidate. Gave you one. Democracy is about votes, not giving shit. They give you entitlements. They gave you a fucking candidate. They lied to you the whole time to keep your money fucking rolling in. Biden's going to run. And all of a sudden, when he's called out for all of his shit, the lady was like, she checked him at the end and he still said, well, I don't think that's wrong. But you said you weren't doing it at first. How do you go from saying you're not doing it to saying, okay, we doing it, but it's not wrong in the same damn setting? Because this shit's wrong. You went from saying, we don't do that. We don't know where you get that information from. So she starts reading where she's getting it from. And then he goes, okay, you called us. We are doing it, but ain't nothing wrong with it. If ain't nothing wrong with it, then why wouldn't you honest in the beginning and say, yeah, we do that. We censor people. So what? We censor them. It's information we don't want out there. We deem it to be dangerous. You know, there's anything about Trump, you know, is dangerous. We deem it to be dangerous. That's not how you started out this conversation, sir. So you got caught in your bullshit. That's why I told you, dude's a weasel. He's a weasel. I didn't like him. He's a weasel because you came out saying we don't do that. We would never censor. That's not what we do. We don't have people that censor. We don't do that. By the end of the conversation, he was, okay, we do that. You caught us with our pants. We always catching the Democrats with their fucking pants down. There ain't no laptop out there. What the fuck is them out? That's Russian a hoax. That's a Russian hoax. Ain't no laptop. What up, Glitch Dash? Trump made that up. Trump made that up to win the election. There ain't no goddamn Hunter laptop out there. Laptop found. Okay, there is a laptop, but ain't nothing wrong with that. If ain't nothing wrong with it, why do you motherfuckers always start out lying in the beginning? The Democrats always start out lying. Always start out lying. And then when you present the truth to them, oh, ain't nothing wrong with what we did. Wait, so what if ain't nothing wrong with what you did, why you lie? I'm like that lady. I'm like that lady, like, wow, this is your response? Wow. I don't know what to fucking say to that. You've been lying for the past 5 minutes. We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. Then when you found out you did, okay, we did it, but ain't nothing wrong with that. Wow. Do you understand the magnitude of what you just did? You just did a 180 on yourself right in front of everybody. And the lady was like, I'm glad I got this shit on record. I'm like, I'm glad too. Because I'm sitting there telling people the Democrats are liars. They're liars right to your face. How many times have you heard me on live stream say that they will lie to your face? Lie to your face. Hell, I ain't hit your car. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't hit your car. I don't know what you're talking about. And this lady got it on record. I don't know who that lady is. I love the fact that she saw it. She called that shit for what it was and said, I'm glad we got this on tape. I'm glad we got this recorded. Because you sat there and said one thing, lied your way all the way through it, got to the end and said, well, we do it, but ain't nothing wrong with it. Wow. Really? This is how this, she was like, I'm done talking to you. I think I've got enough. I've got what I wanted out of you. I've got you lying right here into our face, to the American people. That's how stupid you are. You lied right in real time. And so when they sit there, exactly. So you sit there and you have all these Democrats and you're asking them questions about this and this and this and this. And they tell you something. Well, it's because, and then when you come up with the evidence that negates it and proof that it negates it and should negate it. First thing, well, ain't nothing wrong with it. We don't have a border crisis. I'm not the border czar. There's no border crisis. Well, who do you guys got taking care of the border? Who's in charge of the border? Who's in charge of it? Nobody. So you got a whole damn 4-year administration with a team of a whole bunch of people, and you telling me there's 0 people on that team that's in charge of the border. Why is that? There's no border czar. There's nobody in charge of the border. It's been a crisis. Everybody's been talking about it since, before Trump's election. Everybody's been talking about it. So you telling me you went a whole 4 years running this country, and you're saying there was nobody on your whole team in charge of the border, even though Biden said with his own mouth, I'm nominating Kamala for that job because she's the most qualified. He said that on tape. When you record these motherfuckers on tape and you put the tape in front of them and say, this is you speaking. I ain't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't say 180 every single time. 180 every single time. 180. I was saying this because it's amazing. You guys are going to love the fact that she's going to get in charge of the border in the Northern Triangle. You're going to love. She's the most qualified. She's the most qualified out of Biden's mouth. She's the most qualified. 4 years later, I don't know what you're talking about. She ain't got nothing to do with the border. Yeah, she ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't know what you're talking about. This is how the Democrats are. And the people who vote Democrat, low IQ motherfuckers. And when I say low IQ, I don't mean they don't got degrees, because y'all know how I feel about degrees. Degrees just prove where you've been for the last 4 years. IQ is another level. IQ is common sense shit. IQ is like applicable intelligence. I know 2 + 2 is 4, but that don't make me fucking smart. I know 4 × 4 is 16, but that don't make me fucking smart. IQ is what makes you intelligence. Textbook knowledge is way out in the left fucking field. Who cares about textbook knowledge? I need to know your IQ level. How smart are you with applicable knowledge in the world we live in today? Knowing 2 + 2 = 4 ain't got shit to do with your tire going flat and you knowing how to fix it. IQ, will help you fix that car. Because you'll be like, common sense means I got to block the tires. I chalk the tires up so the car don't roll. I'm going to jack it up just enough to get some of the weight off the lugs. Then I'm going to loosen the lugs with the tire don't spin, loosen the lugs. Now I can jack it up all the way because the lugs were a little loose and the weight was off the lugs. Take the lugs off, take the tire off, put the new tire on, put the lugs back on, let it back down to the tire don't spin a little bit, not all the way back down, just enough to the tire don't spin. Tighten the lugs as much as I can, let it all the way down, tighten the lugs all the way, and now I can drive off, unchock the wheels, let's go. That's common sense shit right there. That's IQ common sense shit. Nobody in school taught me that. That's me thinking of the process on what I would do if my fucking tire went flat. What would I do? That's the process I think about right here in front of you. It didn't take me that long to think of it because I'm thinking of myself working on it as I'm working on it. Some motherfuckers will have a flat tire and sit there like, man, my tire flat. Shit, better call AAA. 3 hours later, AAA show up. Shit, take me 15 minutes to get my tire off. My tire's already done. I ain't worried about no AAA. I done got that tire off and back on, and I'm out of here. AAA's like, well, we'll be there in 2 hours and 45 minutes. Motherfucker, I'm already at the store. I did that shit myself. I'm not worried about y'all. IQ level shit. It's different than textbook. So when the Democrats sit there and they know they got a base of people, all they got to do is keep feeding them a narrative. The dude even told you. He even told you in that hearing. He told you. We want to keep certain things off of social media, so we contact social media places so people don't have discussion about it. We feed them what we want them to know. Slave shit. We feed you what we want you to know. Indoctrination shit. We feed you what we want you to know. Do you want to have a conversation about it? The people who oppose what we want you to know, we're going to block ban their ass. They can't speak about it. We're going to tell you to wear a mask. Some people are going to tell you it don't make no fucking sense, which is true. Like the guy said, they were banning truth. Everything that was against what they were saying was truth. The guy even said it. You ban truth. You ban honest, true discussion, and you ban a lot of truth by claiming it's misinformation, but it's actually truth you're banning. And when it comes out to be that it was true, do they come back and apologize? No. Because they don't want you to know that they didn't know what they were talking about. Or maybe they did know what they were talking about and just wanted to make sure you were stupid enough to keep following that shit. This is why it's set up the way it is. This is why my channel was set up the way it is. We have true conversation because I want y'all to take this knowledge, this information, this energy, all this shit, and apply it to real life. That is when it becomes IQ. When you apply all the shit we talk about and you apply it in a realistic sense, it becomes IQ. When I see somebody trying to give me $11 to go 20 miles and I tell you, you know what, I'll do it for 30. I can't do it for 20. 11, I'll do it for 30. Cool, I paid 32 for it. Y'all heard me say that shit when I do videos in my membership group. When I do membership group videos, I put my pitch in there. Y'all can hear me talking. That's IQ talking. Nobody taught me that shit. It's IQ. Uber and Lyft didn't teach me how to do conversions. No other channel taught me how to do conversions. That's IQ shit. That's me knowing that they keep paying me less and less and less and less. That's me knowing that from what's going around me, the energy around me. And that's me going, we've protested with popsicle sticks and fucking poster boards long enough. We've done it. That's me knowing that from an IQ standpoint. And that's me saying, in order for me to get money, I need to get money. What's my shirt say? Get your money. 300, dead center. That's what I learned. IQ level shit. If I'm going to go out here and get money, I need to talk to the people who are paying the money. Because the middleman is keeping their share way more than what they should. The middleman is like, hey, pay me $32 and I'll get you a nice car to pick you up. Okay, here's 32. Get me somebody nice. Who do I got? Woo-hoo. Got a nice ass BMW pulling up. Jeff, $11. $11, Jeff, is only going to take you 36 minutes. $11. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do it for 30. We didn't offer you 30. Motherfucker, I didn't ask if you offered me 30. I said, I'm going to do it for 30. I'm going to go talk to the person that paid 32. Because I know you never going to offer me 30. Well, Jeff, you can't do that. Motherfucker, I'm an independent contractor. I don't work for you. You told me this lady over here needs a ride. You told me she's willing to pay 32. I said, I'll do it. But you said, okay, we'll give you 11 if you do it. And I said, well, I'll do it for 30. You said, well, we ain't paying you 30. I said, well, you about to lose out because I'm going to go talk to this lady. And now she's doing it for 30. If you want me to do so, like I said, that ride I got last night was the biggest ride I ever got. For 40 fucking miles, $170 for 40 miles, $170 for 40. I've done $130 for 38 miles. I just did that a few weeks ago. That was a private ride. I did 38 miles, 52 minutes of driving for $130 private ride. I did that myself. The app paid me $170 for 39 miles for 42 minutes. Same amount of miles, less money. I mean, less time, 3 minutes less, 4 minutes less for $40 more. The app knows I don't fuck around. If you ain't paying me right, I'll turn this shit into a private ride. I tried to do it for 200. If the dude wasn't Canadian, he actually had fucking shit. If because when I told him 200, it would have saved him 55 plus 15, 70. It would have saved him $70 total if he would have did it my way. I would have saved him $70. I would have saved him $70, but he couldn't do it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it for this price. It's not a horrible price, but he ended up paying over $100 in fees. About $100 in fees he paid. About 100 just for me to drive him for 48 minutes. He paid $100 in fees. Fees, not the actual ride itself. Fees, because I got my 170. So I got 170. He paid 100 in fees, which means he shelled out $270 to hold me down for 48 minutes. He paid $270 for 48 minutes of my time. If we're going to do it, that's how we're going to do it. But I'm not going to sit around with no $11 rides. No $7. No, I'll just talk to the people. Hey, man, they trying to pay me $32 for this shit. 32? Bro, we paid $67 for this ride. 32? Yeah. Tell you what, I'll do it for 50. I'll save you $17. I'll do it for 50. It's fine by me, man. How you want to pay? Cash App, Square? IQ. IQ is knowing you being screwed and saying, I need to do something to fix this. That's IQ. Book smarts. I read the TOS. I read it and I even clicked agree. I'm glad you could read. But do you comprehend what you just read? You comprehended that you are not their employee. Did you comprehend that? You are an independent contractor. You don't sell for them. You don't engage with them. You're not an agent of theirs. Did you comprehend all that? They can deactivate you at any minute. They can cancel your insurance at any minute. Did you comprehend all that? Because once you comprehend all of that and you step back and your IQ kicks in, you go, I don't give a fuck about me, so why should I give a fuck about them? IQ just kicked in. So when IQ kicks in, you say, I know how to fix this. Y'all can keep playing your little games, your little apps and shit, trying to fucking get immigrants to do all your work. Knock yourself out. I need to stack right now. Because if I don't stack right now, there may not be a tomorrow to stack. They're deactivating people on Spark left and right for some reason. Spark has more immigrants than anybody else because doing rides is a little tricky. It's a little tricky. I know the professor did a video the other day, and he showed somebody like Olga is his mom or some shit like that. So some guy was showing up with an account that says Olga. And the lady was like, Olga? And he was like, Olga's my mom. She was like, no, I was here to be picked up by Olga. So the dude is renting an account from somebody named Olga. Olga ain't his real fucking mom. He's renting an account. See, on Rideshare, it's kind of hard to do that. In delivery, I could use Mary's account because it's contactless anyways. Why do you think they set up contactless? Do you think they set up contactless delivery just so you wouldn't touch people? No, they set it up so they can have anybody deliver your shit. Your mail is delivered every day, contactless. It's always been like that. UPS and FedEx, a lot of times, is contactless unless you sign for it. Your food now is contactless. You know why? Because they want anybody and everybody to be able to show up and deliver your shit, even low-paid people. But how can you do Rideshare that's contactless? Because I'm seeing you as you get in my car. If you a 6'3" dude getting in my car and I'm supposed to be picking up this girl named Shelly, I know that because you don't look nothing like Shelly. I see Shelly's picture. This is not contactless. But in food, if I'm doing delivery, it don't matter if you doing it or Shelly delivering. It don't matter because I'm going outside. I'm gonna open the door. I want my milkshake and my hamburger sitting on the ground. That's all I care about. That's why they set it up like that. They set it up like that. What up, Frank, my man? King Frankie. Frankie. And then I'm sitting there going, if we're not developing a higher sense of IQ from all the videos and all the channels we're watching and stuff like that. And I'm gonna do a plug right now. Like I said, y'all know I keep it 100. I keep it real. I'm gonna do a plug right now, and because I think people need to pay attention to something deeper of what's going on with the economy and everything else, way deeper. Because you need to see outside of Rideshare, see what's going on outside of Rideshare. To see what the true, I read that California article to you today, so you can see outside of Rideshare and see some. But Sergio, he has a stock channel. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know that much about stocks. I just know about the trend analysis that I deal with, the things I do, and I can see where it's going to end up. But Sergio has a stock channel. And that channel goes on things outside and beyond the rideshare industry. He does stock shit like maybe every day. I don't know what days I got to go look and see what days he do it. But I kind of caught some. And I listen, like I said, I listen to everybody's shit. So I'm listening to it. And he makes a lot of good points when it comes to the economy because he goes through stock trends and analysis. He does calls, puts all kind of weird shit for all you people that want to do stocks. He's a guy to talk to. I don't fuck with that. But it helps me understand the economy and direction of where things are going. And that's how I speak. I speak from the mind. I speak from the heart. And I tell people, this is what I see going on, man. This is the shit I see. So when I'm playing, congressional hearing videos, it's because I want to put the truth out there. Sergio, he's onto something. He's onto something. And I'm gonna take some of this fucking information. I know I'm gonna take some of his, I might play some of his shit, take some of his information and get a gist on how they're playing us as Americans. Real estate is one thing. I want to really look and see how the real estate market is going as far as the trends. I haven't looked in trend analysis for real estate at all. Maybe that's some shit he's done already. I don't know because I haven't watched his videos like that, but I know he's onto something. He's trapping information. And if you don't pay attention to everything that's coming across the table, grab that information, apply it in the IQ sense. There's some shit going on. Says, hey, Jeff, likely will be one of these gig apps to apply for. How likely for Chapter 11 bankruptcy? I like to see what their notes look like. And I mean, we can go look at their financial statements. We can look at their financial statements and we can see what their notes payables look like. Because with notes payables, you have interest rates and you got to make interest payments. If you're not making interest payments, two things are going to happen. You can make interest payments by getting rid of a lot of employee, a lot of staff, and use what you're going to pay for salaries to cover interest. And you keep those interest payments made because you don't want to be, if the stock market deems your business, they grade you down from an A to a B or a B to a C. Investors kind of dodge. Nope, not fucking with that. Not fucking with that. Oh, then Neo, you might want to do that. You might want to look at Sergio's page because he's got his own stock channel. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Let's see something. I'm gonna see if I can find his stock channel. I'm gonna see if I can find this. I don't know if I don't know what his stock channel will be called though. Let's do Sergio stock. Let's see if it's called Sergio stock. Sergio stock. Let me see something. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. That was on the Rideshare guy. I don't know what his stock channel is, man. He's got a stock channel out there though. I don't know. How do you spell his name? Avedin. All right, hold on. Avedin. I think that's it. Nope. I don't know, man. I don't know what his stock channel, but it's probably in my history somewhere. But that guy, man, Avedin, Sergio Avedin, is it? Let me see. Let's go see. Because this shit's gonna end up making sense, man. We're gonna start applying this knowledge to shit. Because let me see, Sergio Avedin. That's it. Is that it? Okay, because it says with over 30 years of Wall Street. All right. Okay, so this shit right here. Let me share this real quick. Because man, this is Sergio. What'd you say? Damn, Jeff promoting the Sergio Shield TRG stock channel. I definitely have that on my bingo. Dude, you are fucking hilarious. I love that shit. He said, I had that on my bingo. Time to wake up is fucking comedy. I said, I ain't had that shit on my bingo card. This is the channel right here. He's only got like 1,000 people on there, but it's like Sergio Avedin. This right here, we need to start looking at what's going on around us. See, federal debt, ROI, can we benefit? The federal debt, that's federal debt. Power hour, personal savings collapsing. I talk about that shit all the time. How they're making Americans live off of our savings. We're living off of savings and credit just to fucking make it. So he talked about this 4 weeks ago. U.S. personal savings rates collapsing. I've said it already. I said it months ago. People are digging into their saving account just to stay alive right now. So he's talking about investing, passive versus active. Power. I don't get all that shit. Like me, I don't really do stocks. I like to look at stuff like this. Personal savings collapsing. How do we fight it? U.S. dollar on the brink of collapse. How do we fight that? Is the American benefiting from it? The federal debt ROI. This is why I look at stuff like that because I know Time to Wake Up is fucking hilarious. I don't have that shit on my bingo card. Because I had that shit on my bingo card. He fucking hilarious, man. That shit cracked me the fuck up. That shit was funny as hell. Yeah. And that's the thing. Don't use discretion to trade. If you guys gonna try to make money, you're gonna try to do something. Sergio, he's apparently 30 years on Wall Street. And this is how you know he didn't pay me to say no shit like this. Because like I said, everything I'm reading right now, I'm finding out right now. So 30 years on Wall Street. You have brave market turbulence, adapting strategies through crises like .com bubble, housing crash, COVID discipline, and patience are paramount. Stuff like that. So if I might use some of his, like this video, I might look at it. Let's open it real quick. Let's open it. Hopefully he don't.
Our gross domestic product depends on consumer spending, right? If we don't spend money, because we don't have manufacturing, we used to be a manufacturing-based blue-collar, white-collar economy. We did stuff. We produced stuff and sold it around the world. And then we actually produced the best stuff. Well, we don't do that anymore. From cars to washing machines to refrigerators to all durable goods, as they call it, all major things. We don't manufacture anything. Everything is manufactured and shipped back to this country because of cheap labor around the globe. And
cheap labor,
China, Japan, and all that stuff. Cars, cheap labor, right? I mean, everything.
Let me stop this real quick. And I'm going to stop this video real quick because this is what the WEF was saying. The WEF said the only way that America can compete with other countries around the world is through immigration. I did a video about that. Without immigration, America's going to fall. That's what they said. So he's discussing that already. I'm telling you, man, this shit is all IQ level shit. There's a lot of people out there that's not catching on to what's going on with immigration, not catching on to cost of services, cost of goods, pushing things up, trying to get profits for the elites. I will play more of his video, but I don't want to be copy strike. Like I said, if he does, he gets me, cool. I'll just clip that shit out of But it's the whole point is that he's going to discuss some things on his channel that I may, actually look at every once in a while. So that's his channel there. Y'all can look at that, Sergio Avidian. So that video, I would probably play that. I'm gonna probably play that while I'm cooking. It's only 10 minutes long. I'll probably play that while I cook dinner just to see if we agree on some shit, if we agree on some things or whatever this and that. But it's definitely, something that for you people who actually do trade stocks, I don't trade stocks, so I don't mess with that. So if you trade stocks, you might want to have conversation with him. You might want to sub his shit and talk to him. I just want to know if his trend analysis about what's going on right now, if I'm on track with that, because I don't do stocks. I need to be on track with what he's saying. And so I can know, okay, I'm not. What up, Rideshare Rodeo? My brother, thank you for the membership. He's in now. You in the group. So I want to make sure that what I'm saying and because I just say shit based on gut and me being an accountant. I'm an accountant. He's a Wall Street guy. So I'm saying things based on what I see going around me and trying to apply that to IQ. Sergio, he would be, and it's funny that, this video, U.S. personal savings collapsing, I talk about that shit all the time. This is my first time looking at his channel, not knowing that this shit, the stuff he's saying is what I'm saying. So everybody can't be right and it be wrong. Everybody can't be talking about the same thing and it be wrong. We're on to something. And I got a funny feeling that's the reason why, Trump was almost assassinated, because people are waking up and we're on to something and they don't want to do that. That's why the congressional hearings are about, reducing our ability to post what we want to post out there. Because Sergio's a Wall Street guy and I'm a porn star. Trying to wake up, be killing you with that shit. I'm telling you, man, one day you and Sergio just need to have a fucking battle royal. Just start a fucking channel and call it the Battle Royal. Put any two streamers or any two people on there who don't like each other, just fucking get on there, man. All Rideshare Rodeo, my brother, thank you. He's gifted 5 memberships, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. And that's the thing. I got to get over it. We got to do some stuff with Rideshare Rodeo. I see he's linked up with Kim from Money Talks, and he's over there doing stuff with her right now. They're building something. They're building a product right now. I was watching one of their, because I was cooking breakfast one day and I was listening to him and Kim talking in the background. Man, funny, so funny. But it's like, I like that, man. Oh yeah, man, he's cool, man. I like that. Rideshare Rodeo is my brother right there, man. But we need to start doing that. We need to get people to branching out, because I don't mind doing live streams. I don't do ride-alongs anymore. So I don't put a lot of ride-along content out there. but I'm doing more live streams now. And I would like to host people's channel. Check out people's channel on there. Like, let's go to Rideshare Rodeo. I'm going to do this real quick. Rideshare Rodeo. All right. Because I know I'm in his already. So I'm already subscribed to his channel already. But yeah, him and Kim, let me go to their videos. Bam. Let's go videos. So this is a lot of stuff that him and Kim does. They do a lot of things like talking to, is it a lot? Oh, these are live streams. They do them on lives. Wait a minute. Let's go to live. All right. So they do like the gig worker roundtable, things like that. So they call it the roundtable. But these are all scheduled. Damn, he's got a lot of them scheduled. Wait a minute, dude. You got 6 p.m. I could do 6 p.m. All right, I'll notify for both of those. The 4 p.m.s, I'm kind of asleep, but definitely for the 6 p.m., I'll be there. But I'll be sleeping, man. And this is the kind of stuff that he talks about, stuff like this.
Welcome back, everybody, to This Week in Rideshare podcast by Legal Rideshare. Where
So
Kim
this is
and
Steve, this is Kim.
By
Yep.
the way, we've been telling you they do 20-minute episodes. That's it. And they really hit on a lot of the subjects even we talk about, but they do it in a different way.
Yeah.
And so we've talked to them and we're having a lot of fun doing these reaction videos. They're having fun with it. They're loving it. So make sure you guys are staying, that you're subscribing to Legal Rideshare. All the info's in both of our descriptions.
Yeah, let's go here. I'll see what this is.
Workers and everyone in between. Welcome to This Week in Rideshare podcast. I'm your host, Jared Hoffa. It is Friday, August 2nd. And this week, the dirty truth behind delivery, Uber goes AV and drivers get unlocked. Legal Rideshare breaks it down.
Steve, don't strike me. Steve, don't strike me. Oh, I got music in there. I don't know how that goes. Let's see what Cam's saying.
I agree.
And I feel like that's kind of, it's either like, I'm going to go crush it. And those are the people who I feel like, okay, you've been in the service industry. You're going to give it your best go. The people who are like, I'm sick of my job. I'm just going to do gig work. To me, like maybe not always, but for the most part, that's a red flag.
Yeah. I agree with
I feel
that.
like you're going to be set up for disappointment. And again, I do have to say this: who is doing just Uber Eats?
That was kind of my point. I'm
Yeah,
like,
if you're doing just Uber Eats,
We're
make
into
it
now
work.
multi-apping, but not even two. You can't do Grubhub. You can't do DoorDash.
I don't even turn on Uber Eats,
I
man.
think it's the
I would never.
gig
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that,
is
brother.
in order to win monetarily wise, it's having multiple streams of income. I feel like that is the formula for still succeeding in the gig economy. Like you need to get out of the mindset of what was 4 or 5 years ago and get into the mindset of what is right now.
Wait a minute. You know what she just said? Look at the title of my podcast right now. Look at the title. It says traditional rideshare is dead. I have proof. I did not plan on bringing up Rideshare Road. I did not plan on bringing on Steve shit. I didn't plan on that. I'm telling y'all, man, I fly by the seat of my pants. The title of my live stream is traditional rideshare is dead. I have proof. Here we go with two people have been deep in this game who understand. And Kim said exactly, if you thinking about rideshare 4 or 5 years ago, shit don't exist no more. I did not even plan on playing this podcast right here. This is how the universe lines up. This is how it really lines up, man. This let me let her say it again. Hold up.
But I feel like there's different ways to go to make money besides just doing what he was doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm also tying in part of what he was saying, how, like, hey, listen, people are leaving their W-2s and coming over to the gig.
Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
It seems like for someone who's working Uber Eats full time, they haven't watched YouTube or they haven't understood that multi-apping is really the way to go. And not just working one single app. And I feel like he really didn't decline much. So I don't understand why you would take, what was it? $3 for 12 miles. Like, why would you take something like that? Like,
I mean, the only thing that came to my mind was, and it always does these days, is a legal account. And I'm not talking about migrants. I'm not doing just any illegal account because you're not going to be taxed on it. It's sad, but true.
Yeah.
I guess
but even then, I hear you.
I feel like a lot of drivers, and I've said this before, don't make this a business. And it is a business, right? Like there is a dollar to mile ratio. There is things that you can do to make trips profitable on Uber Eats, on DoorDash, on any one of these apps.
True.
And I feel like you need to learn the business side opposed to just taking $3 for 12 miles because
yeah, and I agree with Kim on that, man, because we got a lot of people, and this is why they're exploiting the immigrants. Exactly what Kim says. $3 is a lot for them. $3 is a month's salary. That's why I did that Venezuelan video. $3 is a whole month of salary. But to them, they don't know the business of rideshare, and this is why rideshare and delivery are capitalizing on these people because they don't know the business. If they got a hold of channels like this, if they got a hold of Rideshare Rodeo's channel, if they sat there and watched these, they would be like, bruh, did you know we can make more money than $3 for 12 miles? Did you know we could do that? But they don't watch these videos. Steve, if you out there, man, hopefully you are translating all your videos, man. Hopefully you translating them because I'm going to go see something. Let me look at your closed captions. Let me see something. Let me look in here real quick. Subtitles. Oh, Steve, man, look at this. All you got is English. No, bro. No. Steve, are you on here right now? Brother, I'm going to show you what you need to do. All your videos, because you got way good shit and you don't cuss as much as me. So this shit's going to really work for you. When you're in YouTube Studio, I'm going to do a video for you real quick. When you're in your dashboard, go to subtitles. You see it right over here on the side. Click on Can you see this? Yeah. Go to subtitles over here. Click on subtitles. And you see my languages. I got 14 languages on this one, 15 on here, 60. Let's go to one that don't have a lot of languages. That one's too long. Let's do something short. Yeah, well, this is my July the 31st podcast. Let's open it. You click on it because I'm in subtitles. You see where it says add language? Right now, I only got English. I'm going to add language on this one. It gives you click add language. It gives you a whole thing. I'm going to put this in Arabic. So you click Arabic pops up. Then you see this little thing here. Click that subtitles. This panel opens up. Now, when this panel opens up, there will be a question mark when it says auto something. See, I shouldn't have did this because it's 5 hours long. So it's generating all the words right now because it's 5 hours long. It's translating my whole podcast right now. Now it says auto translate. Click that question mark and you hang out for a second. You can see they're putting Arabic and all my shit here. When it pops up in this bottom down here, when you see it all translates in the bottom down here, that's when you hit publish. Because right now, see now it popped up in the bottom, all that gray popped up. I hit publish. Bam. So now anybody who's want to watch my podcast in Arabic can watch it in Arabic. If I want to do it, let's say, no, I'm not going to do the same video because that's 5 hours. Well, let's do it. I'm going to say I hit SO Somali. So I'm going to translate this for all the Somalian drivers out there. If you're Somalian, you want to know what I'm saying, you can now come to this podcast because usually all my podcasts I do in Somalian, I do them in Chinese, I do them in about 20 languages. Every one of my podcasts, every one of my videos is about 20 languages so they can spread around the world with any driver coming into this country. And I'm going to hit auto translate again. I hit auto translate. I kind of hang out for a second. It's going to pop up down here. So here, now it's in Somali. It's translating in Somali. And make sure English, you have to do it in English first. So make all your corrections in English because you're going to have misspellings and shit like that. Now it's popped up here, hit publish. Bam. So you're going to do, there you go. Yeah. So Rodeo, this is what I want you to do, man. Man, you got to do it, man. It's in the F word. Yeah. It's like, here we go right here. What do you say? Yeah. But watch the last short I did. It will blow your mind. All right. We're going to look at his last short. Let's see something. So we can get out of here real quick. But that's how I, do all my languages. I go through and I put everything in a different language. So, I get up to, and the shorter it is, the faster it is. So, I got 22 languages on some of these, 24, 25, because I need people who come into this country to know what we're talking about. So let's go back here to YouTube real quick. Let's go. I'm going to go see the last short Steve did. Let's see something real quick. Oh, yeah. DC sued Small. All right. We'll look at that. Sued for telling the truth. I can't stand that shit when people get sued for telling the truth. Display ride dash cam cloud uploaded. All right, here we go. Right. Is it that one right there, Steve? Is it that one? Oh,
una cámara de tablero y $225 en aquel entonces. Luego conseguí esta. Esta es buena. Se engancha al espejo y es un espejo. Las cámaras están justo ahí. Es una tarjeta SD. La tarjeta SD se derritió. Ahora, por suerte, no la necesitaba. Pero cuando la saqué, porque estaba cambiándola por mi nueva cámara de tablero, ahora puse la tarjeta SD en mi computadora y no había archivos en ella, pero seguía diciendo que estaba grabando aquí. Ahora tengo display. You guys, real quick. I'll make it real quick. Listen,
that's funny shit. I like that,
de
bro.
tablero y $225 en aquel entonces. Luego conseguí esta. Esta es buena. Se engancha al espejo y es un espejo. Las cámaras están justo ahí. Es una tarjeta.
How'd you do that? I know it's amazing to watch his mouth even go with the language. How in the hell did you do that, dude? That was sick right there. I don't know if I want to see myself. He says that's AI. I don't know how I would look. I'm gonna try one video doing that, man. I'm gonna try one doing that. And it's like people gonna be cracking the fuck up. They're gonna be like, I'm up here. This Japanese like a motherfucker. They're like, Jeff, what the fuck are you saying? That's Japanese, man. It's Chinese. They mean, get the fuck in and give me $5. Motherfucker, give me my $5. Who want $5? Hello, excuse my French, motherfucker. Exactly. I'm only fluent in French. That's it. I'm gonna try that, man. But I think I'm gonna do that. But I don't know. And it's AI generated. I'm gonna do one video like that to see what happens. Man, I don't know. That shit, I would freak me the fuck out. To see myself sitting there talking some other language like that. They gonna get you, bro. I know it. They gonna come get me, man. They gonna like, what the hell y'all see? Say every language matches voice, changes mouth movement. And is it something like you could just like import your video to it? I gotta try that shit first, man, because that is weird. That is weird. That's crazy right there. That would be pretty cool though. That would be pretty dope. I don't know, man. People might see my videos, be like, man, this dude, he's too much. They might kick me out. I'll probably try to fly overseas, go hang out with people in Japan and shit. They kick me out of the country. Like, no, we heard your shit, Jeffy. We heard your shit. It's like, oh man, they got me. They got me. No, if follow Sergio's, I will be living in a van down by the river with Pedro, Kevin, hot dogs, and the rest of the diamond drivers out there. About to time to wake up is stupid. You a straight fucking comedian, man. Yesterday we need to have a rideshare driver fucking comedy show and have everybody just come up and just say like fucking 2 minutes worth of shit. Man, we be dying laughing. We be dying. That's just funny. No, but I appreciate you, Steve, man. Thank you for donating the membership to the guys out there, girls out there. Everybody's like, hey. Yeah, I only thought you were kidding. What was that, Rasha Lisa? What do you got in there? I can't do it. It won't give me a link to type. I can't type a link. Oh. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna try that, man. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do one video to see what happens if I translate it to another language. Pedro. In fact, you can go into the script and change what someone said in text and put in the new words. It's scary. And you can do all of that through YouTube Studio, or do you have to do it through like something else? Like you have to use a different app to do it, or can you do it through YouTube Studio? I want to do it. Lisa, what happened? What happened? Because you said, I thought you were kidding, but I can't click on that link. I'm like, oh man, I can't click on the link. It won't let me do it. I can't even it won't even let me do it. I can't even scroll over it and pull the information out or whatever. And it was YouTube Shorts. I know it. That's funny. That's funny. I'm going to try that, man. That's pretty dope right there. That's pretty dope. But yeah. Oh yeah, man. We're about 2 hours, 46 minutes in. Oh yeah, man. I'm going to end up getting off this live stream I didn't even plan on doing a live stream today, but I'm glad I did, man. I'm glad I did. Because exactly what we were talking about, traditional rideshare is dead, how everything's going, how, they're rushing to get these immigrants in here, man, because they want to change the dynamic of how we make money. Not only that, how we spend money. even with Sergio talking about every American's living off their savings. I've been saying that forever. They're making us get credit and they're forcing us to live off of savings. They want to take all of the savings out of the bank so they have no liability. If we have no savings, they don't owe us nothing. So they sitting there going, okay, Jeff used to have, $60,000 in savings. And that's $60,000 in liability, he can just come in and demand. If somehow we can get him to live off that money, get him to dwindle that shit all the way down to about $5,000, that means $55,000 we don't got to come up with. We loaned this money out and we're slowly fucking making it right, but they're using immigrants to make it right. So, y'all need to get back to work, get them wheels spinning. Shit. We out here figuring, mate, by the time we leave, we're going to have enough people with private drivers out there saying, yeah, we don't support Uber and Lyft. We don't support the shit they own, man. All right, Steve, my man. Hey, you have a good night, brother. I'm telling you, man, one day we're going to do one of these live streams, man. We're going to do it. What I should do is, like I said, you guys will be going live on the 6th that day. So I'll watch it. Hopefully I can get on. I'll get on and see if I can't, if I can stream a little bit of what you're streaming, at least share it just to my channel. So if I can share your stream so people can see what you guys are talking about. And the fact that it could be translated to another language, that helps a lot, especially for channels that don't cuss as much as me, man. That shit helps a lot. This is, by the way, I'm the guy in the black QX80. Okay, Dave. He said, I'm in the QX. There you go, brother. There you go. Get out there and get that money, man. Shit, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. My man Dave's out there doing it, out there getting it. She said, I was behind in the stream. Oh, man, Lisa, man. Comedy show. No, Tiffany, get out the car. Says Uber screwed themselves with this because most Americans do not use Uber now because of this. Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait, man. When Uber sees when their stocks start tanking real bad, tomorrow, dude, we gonna have a look tomorrow morning. Well, I got to do a private ride tomorrow, like 4 p.m. or something. But we can take a look just to see how it's going tomorrow with Uber and Lyft when after it opens, if they're going to go up or down. This will be interesting to see if they tank, because I'm thinking they're going to end up tanking. A lot of people are going to try to short them. And the only way that they won't be able to short them is if people like Daryl, who just sold a ton of shares, goes and buys a lot of shares back. That's the only way it's going to work. Somebody has to go in and just accumulate a lot of shares to get that price to climb. Otherwise, that shit's going down, man. It's going down. They're like, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Hey, Dave, I remember a long time ago, I sent you that group from St. Louis, man. And I tell everybody that story all the time. And that was when I only had the Beamer, because I was like, man, I can't go out there and do no work. So I had to send it to my man, Dave, whatever, man. It's like my people from St. Louis was flying in and saying, Jeff, we love you and everything, but bro, you got a little car we need. And I sent you that message. So it's like, I tell, man, out here, we take care of each other, man. We do it, brother. We do it. But see, now I got the SUV. So my goal now, last night, I met a lady last night who's actually a bartender on the Pink Bus Tours. I picked her and her boyfriend up last night, and I had a good conversation with him last night. So, Dave, I got your number, Dave. I'm going to end up texting you anyways. So I'm going to talk to you, Eric, Jamil. It's a few of us that be out driving at night. And so I'm going to chat with her. She's got my number and everything. Her and her boyfriend, they both got my number. They're going to shoot me a text. They actually live on my side of town, but she's a bartender for the Pink Bus Tours. And they have huge groups that come, and they don't have all the same Ubers. If we can show up with 3-4 trucks, man, if we show up with 3 or 4 trucks, we can get the whole party taken care of. Because I could take 6 or 7. If everybody can fit at least 6, that's 18 people we can fit in 3 cars. Most groups are like 20, 25. So the most we're going to need is 4 cars, maybe 5 probably. And it could just be us showing up, and we can all set our own rates. We can all do if somebody wants to do it on a Square, like a business account, say, hey, do it on a business account. Square each one of us, because that's what me and Jamil do when we pick up the guys for the Kentucky Derby. They did it on a business account. So they paid each one of us on our own individual Square accounts. But we can do them if they're a company saying, hey, this is how we do it. Okay, then each truck, we'll say each truck is 150, and we'll get you guys there and back. Each truck at 150. Cool, no problem. So we all get 150. We do what we do. They text, hey, we're ready. We all show back up. We get them all back to where they're going, and everybody wins. Everybody wins. We figuring it out, man. Hey, all right, I'm working on something, big bro. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Keep working on it, man, because these apps is going down. They're not going to be able to sustain our level of life paying the rates that they currently pay if they're willing to pay immigrants way less and try to generate profits for the apps. So we gotta figure something out, man. We gotta fight for each other. And if we got a team of least, I say 15 to 20 15 to 20 drivers out there who I know they keep their cars running, so the cars are not going to break down. So we ain't got to worry about breakdowns. They pretty much stay healthy, so they ain't always sick. Man, I can't work tonight. I'm sick again. They sick every 3-4 days. As long as we can get a group of 15, 20 drivers with cars that work, bodies that work, and they can get the work done, we could try something, man. We could really try something. We can talk to an investor, and we can see if we can start like a driver coalition team. Just talk to an investor and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. And it's just like with how Hum has their whole group. You know, if we can get something like that going, but only with like black car service, because they don't have black car service yet. They only have like basic and like sedan and XL. If we could do a huge group, a conglomerate of black cars, and all of us are different. We all work our own schedule, our own different things. Man, Uber would have hell. Uber and Lyft would catch hell in Phoenix because we got a lot of events, a lot of concerts, a lot of shit always going on out here, man. We can really get something going. Say the new chip factory up to 17 have one of the big wigs trying to get a contract to run them back and forth. Oh, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up, man. Hey, and if you can solidify that, give them a good contract rate, and especially people that all live in an area, like say some of their employees or whatever, you know, they're coming from the Tempe and they need to get there. Or maybe they need to go from there to Tempe. Secure a contract, a little travel contract, man. And you know me, all you got to do is say the word, man. I'll figure it out. I'll buy a whole new set of tires because you know me, I got a tire machine in my garage. I'll make sure my shit running no matter what. I get a flat, I'm back on the road within an hour. Let's go. Damn, 70,000 employees. And you know a lot of them, you already know a lot of them ain't going to have vehicles. A lot of them live in apartments because right now people are living hard right now. They're living hard. So if we're all going to do it anyways, hey, we pick up a group of employees who are friends. You know, you got 3 stops, drop them off. They say, hey, you know what? Each ride we do is $120, man. $120. You only got 3 stops. That's at least 120 you can count on that day. 120 from that three party. Just drop. You're done. Keep doing whatever it is you do. Make money on the back end. We'll figure something out, brother. I like that, man. I like that. Oh, most of them don't even live here yet. Oh, so they importing people big time. And see, that's the thing. A lot of people are leaving Colorado to come to Arizona. They're leaving Colorado and coming here for work. Because a few people I've done, they're all leaving states like that to come to states out here that are building more industry. So a lot of people are, and I picked up some people from the airport, and it's 9 families. 9 families bought one house together, and they're all Colorado people. So they fly at the airport. They got a car in the garage, but when they fly to the airport, they need a ride to their house. And then when they drop off at their house, they need to ride back to the airport. So they don't need rides around town, but it's so many people are coming here from other states to either start business or to start living here, man. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. Times Colorado has gotten nuts. Yeah, man. People are just, they're thinking about, you know, different ways to live because Colorado used to be like a hidden gem. It was just a hidden gem. People would go there to ski, and that was it. They didn't know the true living there was so amazing. And now everybody showed up. And they're like, this shit's like second Seattle or something, man. What the hell's going on here? It's like, it was a hidden gem. It was tucked right in the center of America. Nobody wanted to really bother it. It was tucked into the mountains and everything. Now it's like, man, because everybody, cost of living is up. This is my dad's in the Springs, Colorado Springs, man. It used to be, everybody would only go there in the wintertime. Because they'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to go there. Oh, so you in the Springs too? Oh, yes, right. Time to wake up's in the Springs too. He's in Colorado Springs. And people would go there to ski, and they go there to have winter festivities and winter business meetings and stuff like that. But everybody was like, I'm moving to Colorado. And now everybody lives there. People from California all moving there. Dude, cost of living is going through the roof. It's probably more expensive to live in Denver than it is to live in California now. I'm telling you, if you live out there, it's getting expensive. Because you got what, Loveless out there, Loveland or Loveless. You got Fort Collins. You got Colorado Springs. Man, y'all got a lot of nice spots people are moving to, man. Shh, better get that money while you can. Time to wake up. Get them business cards going, brother. Get them going. Get them going. But yeah, man. Dave, I know it, man. Hey, are you going to go out there and do that Chris Brown concert tonight? I'm going to see what time. It's only 9:40 right now. What time does that concert start letting out? Let me see something. Oh, come on, phone. Going all slow, sluggish. I hate when my phone do this. Be like, it's Uber. Trying to open Uber, it just does this sometimes. It just sits on Uber. But every other thing opens up. Uber's the only one that be taking forever. Uber be like, I'm going to open eventually. All right, here we go. Let's see. Opportunities. Marcel said the airport's popping right now. Oh yeah, everybody coming back home, man. Everybody coming home. I don't even have mine turned on, man. 10:30 to 11:30, Sunday, August the 4th, Chris Brown. Oh yeah. So I'm about to get off this. If that's in 30 minutes, man, shit, I got to go in here and shower up real quick. Jeez. Man, it was nice rocking with y'all on the live stream today. I appreciate that, man. This is my clock says 12:40. Yeah, it's 9:40 right now. Man. So you park on the north side or south side of the stadium? North side, man, because I got trapped on the south side. They had traffic all like hemmed up, and we kept going down the same loop. It was like a one-way street loop, and I was like, dude, I got to get out of it. And I just gave up. I turned my app off, went down Lincoln, and just shot down 7th Street and got out of there. I was like, I'm out of here. 250 for 100 miles. Damn, man. This is Uber's listening. That's why. Exactly. Yeah, I'm about to get, man, I'm going to run in here and shower up real quick, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man, rocking with me tonight, man. I think it's going to be a good fall. This fall is going to be a good fall. We all waking up to what we can deal with. So all the $10 rides you can handle. This fall is going to be crazy. Get ready. Get your business cards together. Get your marketing shit together. Man, this is going to be, it's us right now battling against the apps. It's us battling the apps right now. The apps are not on our side, and we know it. We know it. Yeah, black and SUV only. All right, much love. Time to wake up. Y'all be out there. All right, Rasha, Lisa. Hey, Dave, I might see you cruising around out there. Like I said, I'm finna run, jump in the shower real quick, grab me something to eat on the way out the door. See if I can knock out 2 or 3. All I need is 2 or 3 rides, and I'm good. I'm good, man. Say, drive test the Melbourne downtown. All right, y'all. Hey, good luck out there tonight, man. Hey, thank you guys for the live stream once again. All the super chats, and thank you, Steve, Rideshare Rodeo, for the memberships you got, people. Man, I appreciate that, man. Much love on that. We will be talking soon, man. We will be talking.